Come in. The show is about to begin. Tonight we have ZenFusion here on YenYorkCity Live. Hey, what's up everyone? How is everyone doing tonight? It is Monday, which means it's YenYorkCity's podcast tonight, and I hope you guys are ready. Tonight we have someone from all the way from Australia. His name is ZenFusion. He's a drummer, bassist, and he also has original music to share tonight. So I'm excited because, it's all about them originals right now. And yeah, ZenFusion is really something else. He does a lot of different streams, from drumming to bass playing to rocksmith. I think he also does guitar streams, if I'm not mistaken, but many different streams. But anyways, he's just fabulous. He's awesome. He has that flow, that swag, and you guys are gonna love him. And I can't wait to introduce you to ZenFusion. So, ZenFusion, are you ready for me?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yes, and of course, I have my co-host, EJ Luna Official, here tonight, and we're gonna start now. It's YenYorkCity Live, here on Twitch. And there they go! There goes ZenFusion!
Am I here? Oh, wow.
How are you? All the way from Australia.
Yes. How are you guys?
We're great. How was your day? I mean, I know it's early in Australia right now, right? It's in the morning. This is morning time for you guys.
It's about 8:30. Gotta put my glasses on to see this stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, 8:25.
Another struggle.
Yeah. It's a bit of a pain because I don't normally have to wear them. It's only when I need to look at the screen. So, yes.
Sweet. Sorry, I had to bring up your volume there for a moment because we were a little low on the cast, but I got you. We're good.
Cool.
So you got your coffee in? You have breakfast? You just got up and just sat down on your drums?
Yeah, I haven't had breakfast, to be honest, but that's all right. I've had a filler and I've got my water. So. A big blue bottle, which should be red, really.
Blue bottle. Hey, blue for water.
Well, there you go.
Filtered water?
Yep. From the fridge.
From the fridge.
The fridge that dispenses water, which we never had.
We got one of those fancy ones.
Yeah, ish. More things more things to go wrong.
Nice. So, Australia, huh? Australia. You haven't lived there your entire life, have you?
No, I've been here 18 and a bit years.
18
Originally
years.
from the UK. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Originally from the UK, so I pretty much spent most of my life there. However, I didn't really. Oh well, I was always into music, but I didn't do any like live music whilst I was in England. Only since I've been in Australia. Is this mic all right?
Yeah, I hear you. So,
But it's great. This is home, really. I did the whole citizenship thing 2 years after I got here, and yeah, I've been back to England twice. Pretty bad, really, isn't it?
do you miss it?
Who is that?
No, not really. No. When I left, I made sure I was
Hey,
ready to
Steven.
leave. So yeah, but it's good here. The weather's what keeps you.
Sweet.
So I see we got some people in the chat, somebody that knows EJ. I don't know who that is, but hello and welcome to the stream. Steven is here. Meerkat, thanks for coming in, Meerkat. Daniel, who's going to be on the podcast in December. Christmas time is going to be awesome for different kinds of reasons because we're going to be doing a lot of the Christmas stuff. And yeah, so tonight, guys, if you guys are in the lurk, who else is here from ZenFusion's community? I know you said that everybody was excited to have all these questions thrown at you. So let's see.
I think I saw Nassau in there.
Yes, Nassau. And
yeah, very good friend of mine.
Oh, awesome.
So he knows the old me.
Yeah, how about you, EJ?
What about me?
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm fine, I guess. Just trying to get through each day as it comes. So, just waiting for my kit to show up and confirmation for that to get here. And
so Zen, that's you have an electronic kit there. I see.
I do. Yes, it's a Yamaha DTX 900, the original one. I love it. I've had it for about probably 12 years. And yeah, it at the time when I got it, I was doing electronic music. So I wanted the best electronic kit at the time, and this was it. So yeah, that's what I went out and bought, just because of the things that you can do with it. I think it was the only kit really at the time that you could sample into, because the Rolands weren't doing that at that point. So yeah, I ended up getting this, and it's lasted. Like, I haven't had to replace any parts. The main kit is these pads here, the kick, this hi-hat, these two cymbals, and the first kit I got was these smaller pads. And I've got a kick tower there, which I very rarely use, and this cymbal.
what are the modules?
So this is a DTX 900 module, which is Yamaha's flagship module. They haven't really updated it since then, but they've upgraded their pad system to a silicone sort of head, which isn't too bad. But I think as far as rubber pads go, these are like the best rubber pads that I've used, because they don't. I can sit at an acoustic kit and play them and sit at these, and the feeling is not that different. It's strangely enough.
So there's a rubber pads, not mesh.
Yeah, rubber. Yeah.
Is the rebound like crazy on that?
No, that's the thing. It's kind of weird. Like, these pads are a rubber, but they don't feel bad, but they just don't feel as nice to play on as these. And for me, the mesh heads are just a bit too bouncy. And the new silicone heads that Yamaha do they have like, so the tom pads have a different sort of texture, so it feels more like you're hitting a tom rather than the snare pad. The snare pad's a lot tighter.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's good.
So you play bass too, right? You're a bass player? Because I know last time I caught you playing the bass, and that was the first time I ever saw you was Darkman, Chris, Darkman24, which he was on the podcast too.
Oh, yeah.
He rated you, and I was like, oh, this guy really has like that soul, you know, and that like that funk. Because I think you were playing like funk stuff that day, but
Probably.
on the
I am
bass.
a big fan of funk.
Yeah, and I was like, this guy could, you know, you have that, like, you just go in there and you have fun. Everybody on the stream has, like, a lot of fun, and you're very interactive.
Yeah.
And also, you do game streams, right? You do gaming, too.
Yeah.
So what's your schedule like now? Do you stream a few times? And how do you alternate your, like, your drum streams and your bass streams? And, you know, what do you, I guess, would say is your main instrument?
So, okay, there's a few questions in there.
Yeah, that's I know. It's like we'll go through all of them. I'm just excited. I'm excited.
That's all right. So, at first, when I first started streaming, like I never meant to have a schedule. I used to stream a bit of Street Fighter a while ago. So I've had a Twitch account since like 2017 or something, and we used to just do a little bit of Street Fighter every so often, but not to have an audience. Didn't really think about that. We just streamed it because we did. And then I I saw a few people playing Rock's band, and I then saw that you could play drums like an E-kit with Rock Band. So I thought, oh, this is cool. So
Yeah.
this was only last November. This is only last November.
Is that when you started
So I went out and
streaming?
bought Rock Band. That's when I started to stream, well, a bit more frequently. I didn't have a schedule or anything like that. But I started to play Rock Band with a few people, did a few Rock Band streams, drumming. And then I started doing Rocksmith, which is probably November, December time.
Okay.
Um,
Oh wow! So you're
and
coming
then
in
I
on a
thought, ooh,
year now. Your year anniversary is right around the corner.
yes.
Ooh.
It is. So, and then, yeah, I just got into Rocksmith because I do love the bass. Now, I wouldn't say I was a bass player
Hey,
because
Dan.
I wouldn't confidently go, oh, I could probably get by, but I just know there's a hell of a lot of things on bass that I don't know and that I want to learn. So through Rocksmith is how I'm learning bass really at the moment. I mean, I have played bass in a band before, but I learned the music and that's what I did. I didn't steer out of that. So if somebody was to say solo, bass solo, nah, I just freeze probably.
Wait, what is that?
So you feel more
exactly.
comfortable saying you're a drummer instead of a bass player. You're like, I'm a
definitely.
bass player, but I'm more of like, I'm a drummer first. Like that's the first thing that you tell people. Like when they say, oh, what
Yes,
instrument?
definitely.
Okay. So when did you start playing drums? When did you fall in love with drumming?
So probably when I was about 11 or 12, maybe, or 10.
Wow, you're young.
Yeah, so not that early. Oh, I mean, I suppose it is early.
Yeah.
It was when I went to the second year of high school, they had a drum set there. So I think, yeah, it might have been around 11, 12, actually. And we used to just mess around in the music room, and the drums was just the thing, you know. It was just like, wow. And then you start hearing how it fits into songs, and I just thought, man, I want to do that. And for some reason, I just sort of gravitated towards them, and we just started to play them. And there's another friend of mine, he used to play drums as well, so we were always like challenging each other and stuff, but we didn't actually get taught.
Drum battles
I think
in school.
Sorry?
Like drum battles in school, like when drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was all about that competition. But yeah, we never really had drum lessons. We had a drum teacher come once, and because our music teacher said, "Oh well, you guys look like you want to play drums, so we'll get a drum teacher in." So they got this jazz drum teacher in, and back then we wanted to play beats and stuff, and we had this music teacher come in, and he had us doing single stroke rolls and paradiddles, which at that time we were like, "What's this? I don't want to do this." So he didn't come back. We ended up just playing and getting into it, and just learning off. I learned off CDs pretty much. I'm purely ear trained.
Wow.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
cool.
best though. Like, you come up with your own kind of style, I think, when you are self-taught more. I mean, it's good to be classically trained too, but I do feel like a lot of people that are self-taught have something else, has like their own thing, that they don't sound like they're teachers, or they just come. It's an original thing that you guys become your own drummer and your own right. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel that. So. Wow. All right. So you started streaming in December, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or December.
Yeah.
So have you played out like with bands before? Were you in a band before?
Yes. So when I was in the UK, I didn't play in any bands at all. I used to jam online a lot, so I was still jamming with people, but I never played in any bands. Then I came here, and I was influenced by a couple of bassists, Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller, and that sort of stuff. And I saw that Victor Wooten was doing a concert here with Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. So I thought, I'm going to that. So I went to that, and I met a guy who is the bass player who I play with now. And I was saying to him, "Oh yeah," he was gigging around, and I used to say, "Oh look, it's not for me. I've never gigged, and I'm not good enough." Simply didn't think I was good enough because I couldn't read music. So he took me out to see 3 different drummers here, which made me think, "Oh, okay, well maybe I can do this." So then after that, I started to play. I mean, there is a bit more of a story around that, but I joined a couple of bands on drums. Started to get a name for myself a bit. Got a lot more bands that I've been in, and then eventually formed my own band, which was a drum and bass band, Liquid Drum and Bass. And then I hadn't stopped for about 11 years of just gigging like week in, week out, and running a day job. And so then last year in February, I just thought, nah, I'm having a break, because I was in 4 bands over from like the October to the February when I stopped, including my own. But yeah, it was just like, I just needed a break. So I've been on a break for a year.
Well, that goes for my next question. Because you were in a band and you gigged and everything, and you said you were really like actively gigging. How was your 2020, and how has that affected you with gigs and live streaming? How did that kind of become a thing this year, and how did you make the transition?
Like the live streaming, it wasn't intentional. It's just, I guess, because COVID hit in March, and I was streaming a little bit anyway. I didn't really do drum streams. I was doing Rock Band, and I started doing normal drum streams. So I was doing Rock Band drums first, and then I can't remember who it was, but somebody said to me, "Oh, you should do a drum stream." And I think I saw Darth Rips.
Oh, okay,
what was it? I saw Darth Rips doing a drum stream.
Mr. Rips.
My heart,
and there was all this.
He has my heart,
There was all
Darth.
this. Yeah, he's cool.
He's sweet, yeah.
And there was all this Star Wars stuff that I saw. And I thought, man, that's like me. He's another Sith. And a few other people said, "Oh, you should do a drum stream." So I tried it. I can't remember if I was doing Rockspix. Hey, Darth, he's good. I can't remember if I started Rocksmith first or the drums. It might have been Rocksmith. But I I started doing it, and then I got the whole affiliate thing, which I didn't even realize. So then I thought, oh, I have to now have a schedule of sorts,
Yes,
and I got a few subs. So I just started. I had put a schedule, which I'm always late for, and
Fashionably
and started
late.
playing. Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah,
And I started playing, and for me that was good, because when I've always been on stage, I've always been quite happy sitting at the back on my drums, not having a microphone. Don't ask me to sing, nothing like that. So I was just that guy who would just play the drums, do my thing, liaise with the band members. So doing this on Twitch has sort of like gotten me out of a shell that I was in, and because I'm now sort of like a front person, sort of like doing what I'm doing. I'm still drumming, I'm still doing the bass thing, but I'm talking a bit more. So the COVID thing for me is great. I don't miss gigging, to be honest. However, I
can imagine as a drummer.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't have to take my stuff everywhere and set up and pack down and sound check and be whipping on and off stage in between bands.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's not like being a guitarist. It's for a drummer. Yeah, and then exactly. Also the gig spots. We've talked about this before, because I've had numerous drummers here. Sometimes they have their own kit in the venues, and you're just like not satisfied with their kit and stuff like that. Or if you have to lug all your stuff because of that reason, that's like a whole nother thing. Like you have to worry about going to places, not forgetting things, not getting stuff taken or whatever, so it's like a process. So yeah, you don't miss it. You don't miss it. So do you feel that now it's just been more like, oh, well, I got that reason for streaming more. That's great. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home. And also like, I was going to say, well, you said that you were fine being, behind the scenes. You like being the drummer, in the back and stuff. Well, that's kind of interesting. I've noticed there's two different kinds of drummers. Drummers that actually like a lot of attention, right? And then there's the drummers that are like kind of quiet and they're like, I like being behind the scenes. So has it been like really crazy how now you're like a streamer and you have to talk more? Or do you feel like you've become so comfortable in the last year that you enjoy it and found some new things about yourself? Like, I think you have a great voice, like, the way you speak. Yeah, you have a lovely voice. Do you sing? Because drummers tend to really always like being, like, they wish they were singers, like, on the low, like, for me. So do you have a nice singing voice, and do you sing?
I don't think so.
No?
If I go in the shower and start singing, the water will go cold.
Oh, come on. With that voice, you have a nice speaking voice.
I've recorded music and sang on it before, but I hate my voice.
No. You have originals.
I mean, that's pretty like everyone else. Like, everyone hates their own voice, but like on the outside, it's like, yeah, it's actually soothing.
I think that everyone can sing, but in your own key. So, like, I think as soon as you start doing covers, so if I try like Rock Band singing, you can't meet certain keys, but if you transpose that song into a key that's relative to your voice, then I think everyone can do it, but I just don't. I have done, but never in public. And
no, like backup singing?
No.
Nah. I haven't done. I might do in the future, now that I'm a bit more vocal through streaming and I don't mind talking on a mic anymore. I might try backup singing.
Ooh, nice.
At a push.
Nice.
At a push.
So do you feel like now that you've met a lot of different musicians on Twitch, have you planned or tried to reach out to someone to do any collaborations? Because I love seeing that, collaborations.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you should mention that. So there's a couple. So I've done a couple of collab type things.
Oh, so you have.
Both gaming, but I've done some gaming ones, but not music. there's another streamer. She streams Rocksmith, so I'm going to be doing a collab with her. Just got to work out the logistics of it, where she'll be playing Rocksmith and I'll be drumming. We'll pick a set list, and we'll just. I guess I'll just host her stream, and we'll just play. So that's gonna come up at some point. The other thing that I'm trying to do is so I spent a lot of time jamming online in a piece of software called Ninjam, and for me, that's probably one of the biggest things that has got me to learn how to play with people, learn how to play for a long period of time, and just learn how to improvise a bit and sort of change the way I'm playing depending on you might be in the jam, and a flamenco guitarist might come in, and a rock bass player, and a jazz keys player, and the vibe.
That's where the fusion comes in, right? That's where the fusion. Like I like that.
So that's just I've always sort of loved that kind of thing. I forgot what I was going to say now.
That's a perfect well, now I'm going to ask you, why ZenFusion? The name ZenFusion.
Okay, I'll say half of that. I'll answer half of that. Second half, I'll answer. So the first half I got through video games. It was an anagram of a name, which I then flipped, and it turned out to be Zen. I didn't actually call myself that. I just used to put it in, because when you used to play video games in the arcades, you could only ever put 3 letters in. So I used to put that in. So it was actually people that used to see me putting that in, and they started calling me that, and it just stuck. So it's nothing really to do with me being like a Zen-like character, although I am. I'm really chilled. But yeah, so that's where that came around. The fusion, again, that was sort of given to me. So probably in the late 80s, early 90s, I was a jazz fusion dancer.
A dancer, a fusion. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There was a group in the UK that used to do a lot of TV and theatre work, and they'd go to nightclubs, and then these like big circles would form, and you'd have people from Manchester, Birmingham, London, Stoke, and they'd all be dancing, and they'd go in and challenge each other.
Ooh.
And I had my little dance troupe, which we used to we were just always watching. And then one night, one of the guys from this main group, he said, Zen, go in, just to represent Manchester. And I was like, I froze, but I went in.
I could see that, though. I want to see some moves, Zen.
Oh.
I definitely want to see. I need a dance stream from Zen.
Oh, man. Gosh, I'm like old now.
No, you're not.
But I went in, and I did my thing. And I didn't breathe, I was just like nervous as hell. I did my thing, and I was dancing off with this guy, and then, everyone was like, yeah. And then I got off and came out. And then the main guy from that thing goes, wow, Fusion, you're like ZenFusion from now on. So that's how I got the Fusion name, because my fusion, which is what the footwork is called, my fusion was like really fast and just, again, different, because it was a self-taught thing. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up joining that dance group and doing a lot of TV and theater work with them. So yeah, that's where the fusion came from.
Oh, see, that's something I didn't see coming. I mean, you look fit. You look fit. You look like a dancer. You do look, I could see you being a dancer too. And I want a stream. I want a so what is ZenFusion dancing like? I'm trying to picture it. Like what?
Oh, no, so it's
what kind?
It's jazz fusion.
Oh, jazz fusion.
So if you think of if you go back to those old movies like with Gene Kelly, the Nicholas brothers, that kind of Singing in the Rain, all that jazz, and they do all the footwork.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
They used to wear the black and white spats. So it was that sort of dancing.
Nice.
But then that sort of then later on moved into the house music genre.
Is that where like
So
locking kind of came from?
walking, you mean the moonwalk?
No, locking.
Locking, pop locking.
Oh, locking. No, that
Not
was
pop lock, but
breakdancing,
regular lock.
Oh, okay.
which is what I also used to do. That was another thing.
Ooh.
Mm.
Then got the
well,
moves. He got the grooves. He got the fusion.
We didn't have internet back then,
Okay. So that was
so
well.
yeah.
So like you said, early '90s. You were doing So you did television back then and dance.
Yeah.
And theater.
So I think I've got it. I've had it pretty lucky with everything that I've done. So
Mm.
you know, like when you start doing something, like if you want to get a band or a dance group, you have to start at the bottom and do all these little gigs to try and get yourself known.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately for me, when I did the whole dancing thing, I joined a dance group that was already established, so I didn't have to do any of that graft. Then even with music, when I started playing in bands, I did one night, which was a jam night that they had at a club, and then there was a guy there that saw me, and then I joined his band, which again was already established, so I didn't have to do that whole grafting. And even when I put my own band together, people already knew me. They knew the bass player from the bands he was in. They knew the saxophonist, and they knew the singer. So it was like, oh, these four are in a band together. Got to see this. So yeah, I've always had it kind of easy, and it's been fun.
Yeah, I just looked up some of the jazz fusion dancing, and it does have like a resemblance of a little bit of like a ballet blend, with
Yes,
with a little bit like a lot more of upper body like movement.
There's a lot of so
Hey, Eric.
jazz.
So I can see like the
Yeah.
kicks and like the positioning of the kicks and stuff like with the more grace, but then there's like the aggressive side of it on top of the graceful
Like
side.
graceful, but like, you know, with swag, right?
It's like a blend of like not like the aggressive African dancing, but like you know how they incorporate a lot of like the upper body movement and like the arms and stuff, but then like the lower half is graceful with like a ballet type of
Like
like
sways
flow.
and like flow. Yes.
From what I see here, but
Yeah, is that like how old is that? Because there wasn't a lot.
I don't know. It was
of body.
2016 footage.
No, you want to go way back. So if you look up look up the Nicholas Brothers. It was that sort of thing, or Gene Kelly. You know, like Singing in the Rain.
Like
and they did all that
Gene
stuff.
Kelly, and you know that
So
that's one of I remember because I love Michael Jackson, and I used to always like be in front of the TV like trying to dance like Janet and Michael all the time, and I remember he always used to like say that he was inspired by that time and Gene Kelly, and also like of course like the soulful dancing and stuff. But yeah, he always used to say that like Gene Kelly, and he had the gracefulness, but also the precision and the technical part of it, that it has to be very precise, you know, but neat and classic moves mixed with like modern. So I can get the fusion part with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the when it sort of moved to the house music era, it sort of then incorporated a lot of floor moves. So it was sort of like that jazz fusion with kind of breakdancing, but not breakdancing, if you know what I mean. There's
Maybe some like tapping movements in there as well.
yeah, there was
like
tapping,
tap dancing.
So it was a mixture of stuff, but it incorporated a lot of breakdance moves, like doing down and spinning and stuff, and yeah, it was fun.
Interesting.
Oh, we got.
So, we covered your self-taught capabilities. Who were your influences when you were listening to your CDs and learning how to play drums?
So because So I listen to a lot of reggae because my background is Jamaican. I listened to a lot of reggae.
Oh, nice.
Like when I was growing up, it was around me, and I listened to it. But not like Bob Marley. Like Bob Marley's sort of like different. I used to listen to him as well, but I listened to a lot of reggae. And then when I actually started to learn drums, this is one of the things that was going to be in your 12 question thing.
Yeah. Okay.
UB40 was
nice.
They had an album, I think it was called Labor of Love. I think so. It had all those classic UB40 songs, and what I used to do
with the saxophone and the trumpets.
Yeah, I didn't have a drum set at the time. So what I used to do when I was learning when I was a kid was I'd put that CD on, it was a cassette back then, and I had like hardback books, and I would lay them out on my bed in this formation. And I had a pair of drumsticks, and I had a paperback book on this side, and I would just play to all of those songs whilst listening to them. And so I could do that whole Labor of Love album, the drumming, like on every song. But I just learned through hitting books.
So you built the muscle memory and then like envisioned the sound as you're like smacking on the books.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then it also prepped you with, because the books have little rebounds. So like you're forcing your hands to learn how to get the bounce and like the doubles and stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember those, they call them annuals in the UK, but they're like a hardback book, which is like you used to have Dandy and Beano and you remember Desperate Dan and all that. It's like comic strip, but they were hardbacked, and you got them like every year. So I used those, and different thicknesses and sizes gave a different sound when you hit them. And the one I used as a snare was more of a thicker hardback book, and a paperback as a hi-hat.
just to alter the tones a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you use a suitcase for your bass drum?
No, well, I didn't even have a kick pedal, so
you got to get creative. I mean, in New York City, you'll see all kinds of drummers in the street doing buskers, with pails and buckets, and I'm telling you, they can make something sound amazing. Like I always say, sometimes, drummers, you can have like all the kits and anything, you can dream of, but the drummer's what makes it, like the sounds. It's the player, like the guitar, like Steven, I was telling Steven, because he was like, well, I'm not going to get this $2,000 guitar, like I always say too, like, it's okay. It's like, you make the guitar, you make the bass, it's like you put your soul into it. You don't have to have like the most expensive, right? But like, yeah, so you got creative and you made it work, right? So so that's another question that I wanted to ask you. If money was no object, and like you can pick any kit and in the world, what is your dream drum kit? What would it have, and what symbols are your favorite symbols?
Oh, okay. This is interesting one. So, like you were just saying, like, I guess it's a growing up in an ear thing. So, like,
right, Robson.
The drum set that like in terms of this is a tricky one. So, I've never really been one for brands. Like, I know there's like some people have bought $4,000 or $5,000 drum sets because of the shells and the tones and whatnot. I've never really been into that. Like the first acoustic drum set that myself and my bass player got was a cheap Ashton kit, which was crap, but I reskinned it and dampened it where necessary, and it sounded good. So I think in terms of from a sound point, I wouldn't know what kit I would want. However, for acoustic, I've seen this kit in a shop. It's not that expensive, but it's a Perspex one, and you get them in different colors, so it's see-through. That I really like the look of for an acoustic kit. So I would definitely.
Is it acrylic?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's what they call them. It's see-through, so it's. I think who had one? One of those was it? Billy Cobham, I think, might have had a yellow one back in the day. A see-through. Someone did. It was a see-through yellow one. I mean, I wouldn't get yellow, but
That's an odd color to have.
yeah.
No, but there's this one guy that has a yellow guitar that pops. So sometimes a bright color.
If it's see-through.
Oh, it's see-through yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, it's not like wood yellow.
Oh, you're kidding me? My phone's ringing.
Who is it?
Star Wars music. I don't know. So my phone is.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm like looking at my phone thinking, am I doing something wrong? Is my phone's acting up? I don't know.
It's a tax agency. They're coming after you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I don't know. And as far as electronics are concerned, I've always steered clear of the Roland simply because the feel of the pads and just what you can do in the
throwing
module.
some shade with the. So you're not into those. You're not into those.
But I think they've come a long way in terms of what they are now. So that the newest like TD 50 kV or whatever it is, I think you can sample in it. Because that was the only reason why I didn't get a Roland to begin with, because you couldn't sample.
Yeah.
And an electronic kit, in effect, ideally should be a sampler with pads. So you can put any sound you want in it, like you can on this. And you couldn't on the Roland, but I think you can now. And I think I would probably, if I was ever to upgrade this, I may steer to get the Roland.
You can. They do have the ability to import sounds and stuff from like your computer into the module, or even from a SD card. They have an SD card slot on there, or a USB card.
Yeah,
there's some cool stuff you can do now. I was looking at them and I'm like, whoa, that's fun. That looks, yeah. I like those.
Because this is quite old now. I've had it for a while.
Is all the sounds coming from your module?
No. So, I've got addictive drums here, which are these sounds.
Sounds really good.
That's that. And then these sounds here are sort of, well, I don't know. Well, that's the module.
Tasty fizz.
Oh, so you flip between the two?
Yeah, just I've got a slider. So it depends. Doing it this way, if I wanted to have a snare from that and some electronic sort of kick from here, I can just
split them up.
Yeah, which I don't actually do, but I can. But I do like addictive drums. It's good. It's not as, it doesn't use as much processing power as like BFD and stuff like that. So it's quite easy to run.
Yeah, I was thinking of like, but when I get the electronic kit, I would get it like I would in the future. I would invest into like Easy Drummer or like what's that other one? Superior Drummer.
Superior.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be pretty good. From what I've heard, I think for me it was just this laptop. I don't even know if this laptop would run Superior Drummer, or I mean it might, but I haven't tried it, to be honest.
So how many kit tones or kits are in addictive drums? Is it a lot?
Oh yeah, yeah. There is.
And the one you have right now, is that a replica of a kit?
It is. It's I can tell you what it's using.
Yeah, bust out the glasses.
So the toms are Pearl reference. Oh, it's a Pearl reference kit. This hi-hat is a Sabian AX, which I use on my I've got an acoustic variant of that.
Nice.
Pearls for life. Is that your favorite too, Toofy?
And there's I think a Zildjian splash here, another Zildjian splash. So that's an A custom. Oh. And that one's a K custom, which doesn't mean anything to me really, because I've never really been fussy with cymbals.
Yeah, you just focus on the tone itself.
Oops. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of kits. There's a heap of drum kit sets, and
That's pretty
you can.
Ooh, nice.
There's also a lot of effects that you can do, so you can have kits and make them sound like they're from the 70s or from the 80s. So when I do my drum streams, I have a few kits set up with different tones and different snares, so that when people request certain songs,
It matches the vibe.
try and find the kit. Yeah. Let me just.
Cycling through the kits.
I am. Yeah. Sorry.
How's everyone in chat?
That's my laptop.
I see Toofy came in. He's another drummer here on Twitch. He's really cool. He's from Tasmania. So ZenFusion is from Australia, Toofy.
Oh, that's
Yes.
nice. That's a nice flat sound too.
I'm cool.
Yeah. So this
You're
is what I
cool, Steven.
use for like the whole 80s kind of brick house thing. You know, like. So
Oh yeah.
that again, you
geez,
hear
oh
that there's those
my.
toms. Those were like the
House.
80s kind of toms.
Sounds pretty good. The kits that come out of there are actually really solid.
It's a jazzy one. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. You can do whatever you want, and you can customize them to whatever you want as well.
Now I'm excited. I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely try Addictive Drums.
Oh, yeah. That sounds cool.
Because a lot of people use it, and it's not that intensive on your resources on your computer.
Nice.
He says.
And what bass do you have? Like, what's the brand and model?
Okay. I have. It's funny, from somebody who's not actually a bassist. I have quite a few basses. So the
Ooh,
main
are they
bass that
around too? I want to see them.
They are. I can't really grab them now.
It's fine. We're focused on the drums
you-
right now. So,
Yeah.
but you said you know
So I
more
have
about
a
your
Yamaha.
basses.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
You said something about for a drummer, you know more about your basses. Is that what you're gonna say?
Oh no, I don't know more. I have
More basses.
quite a few basses. So I have 6 basses.
6 basses.
What? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Where's
For a
Robson?
non-bass player, 6 basses.
I know, exactly. But the reason why I have 6 basses, so my very first bass that I got was, I don't even know what it's called. I can't see it from here. I think it's a Squire or something. I got that because I thought, you know what? I really want to play the bass. So I just bought one and thought, well, I have to learn it now. So I got that. And I tried to play a little bit, but then one of the frets fell out. So I then made that bass into a fretless bass. And then I bought another one with frets. The same thing happened. Just cheap basses.
I love
So I've got-
fretless bass.
And then I actually have a fretless. So I've got 3 basses that are fretless. 2 were not fretless to begin with. And then I have a 5-string Yamaha, which is what I use most of the time. And I have a 4-string. I can't even see what that says. It's not a big brand, but I've got a 4-string that I use. So they're the 2 main ones I use on stream, and I have another one that I.
Which
don't
one's
know
your
what-
favorite though?
He
Which
looks
one's...
across the other side of the room. He's like, yeah, those. And
I got that one and that one. Do they have names? Do you name all your like basses and?
No.
No.
but
Okay, I'm weird.
I don't, and I should do. I should do.
That one, Shirley.
I have.
That
But
one.
that might be a thing. I might do a bass naming thing.
That one's Betty. Betty
So-
the bass.
Yeah. They're all Sith bases.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So you were in an original band called Pimps of Sound.
For real? Are you reading this
Yes.
from somewhere?
Yeah, he sent me a link to his Bandcamp.
What? Oh my god, I wish we could see it. Is it on YouTube?
No, it's on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp. It's an EP that's about 10 years old, I think.
Wow.
So
Zen
that
was
was
a
the band. That was my own band.
What
Yeah.
was the name of it? Pimps of what?
Pimps of Sound.
Pimps of
Oh,
Sound.
gotta love the name.
So it's funny because both the bass player and I, we were basically a rhythm section for hire. So we would play in different bands because we played quite well together. We could go into a band, somebody would be looking for a bass drummer, a bass player, or a drummer, and we would do it. So a friend of the bass players, a friend of mine, I guess, would
Cool name.
go. She gave us the
Hey,
name. She
Steph.
said, "Oh, you guys are like just pimping yourselves out." And she said, "You should be this. You guys are the sound pimps." So we're like,
Actually, that's kind of
So
cool.
then when we
yeah.
actually put the band together, we called it Pimps of Sound because we were literally. That's
I'm
how
a
we sort
pimp.
of started. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But we don't do that anymore. Although I'm just joining a band today.
Today?
With him and a couple of other people. Yeah, I figured.
Wait a second. Wait. Hold the phone.
I'll
Hold
get
the
back into
phone.
it.
Today, you didn't tell us this before the stream. I didn't know we would have been talking about it.
Yeah, that's probably not. So
Thank you for the gifted sub, Eric.
I've got a first rehearsal with him tonight. I haven't learnt the music, so I'll be doing that today.
Uh-oh.
I think there's only like 3 or 4 songs that they want me to learn, which
You got
I know
this,
them anyway,
then.
so they're not gonna like go, oh no, you can't be in it, and they want me to be in it. So
Of course not,
Nice.
son. You're a
I've worked
pimp.
with the bass player.
You're the pimp of sound. They won't
Well,
tell
there you
you.
go.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Oh,
you got it in the bag.
Oh, the one and only Steph is here.
Steph, yeah, I just saw her pop in. I said, hey,
So,
what's up, Steph?
so do you put
That's
like
cool.
baby powder in your hands while you're playing drums? Like,
like
back slap the cymbal? Like,
what do you call those? The gymnasts? They go and then they go and do the. Is that a thing? Well, because you get sweaty, right? I know I would get sweaty when I would play the bass. Nerves.
So here's the thing, like I think as well, because like I was saying earlier with the whole jamming online thing. So the online jamming thing, I would sit on the drums and I would play just for hours, just getting in the zone. So you sort of learn to breathe and conserve your energy. Hence why when I put together a liquid drum and bass band, we could do a 3-hour set. And drum and bass is quite quick. It's pretty much 180, 174 sort of BPM. So I very, very rarely would work up a sweat because I don't know, you just learn how to conserve it and breathe. And I guess I was comfortable doing it after a while.
sweet.
There's a couple of weeks.
I can't wait to hear it.
Tumbleweeds.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's still early. It's still early in the morning. I
Yeah.
don't normally drum at this time.
You gotta stretch out and everything.
Is there a
Yeah.
routine that you have? Do you have any kind of rituals before you go and stream? I mean, I know I need coffee.
Yes, I plug everything in, test it, get the technical difficulty sorted out, sit down and hit the stream button.
And hope everything goes well.
Yeah, no, I always do a recording and then I hit the stream button.
Okay, for a test run.
Yeah, I don't actually
Hey, he's from Australia.
practice drums. When I drum on Fridays for my stream, that's like the only time I drum during the week. That's my practice. I will start doing more though, more practice, because I need to learn some shit. There we go. There's my
gotta-
profanity for the day.
Yeah, to break the ice.
Broke ice. It's all good.
So no, I don't have a stretch routine or anything like
No.
that. I just which is it's probably a bad thing, but
Yeah, I'm starting to figure out, like, there's been a lot of things that we've been seeing happening to a lot of the music community where people are getting injured and stuff from playing for extensive times, and they're hurting themselves. And I feel like, having the exercise and stretch before, and maybe even potentially like during, to help like keep your muscles, warmed up and limber. So you're not like hurting yourself.
Zen looks
I
fit
do have
though.
a
Zen looks like he takes care of himself.
Looks can be deceiving. Well,
It's all cameras.
You look like you got some guns. You got some guns going on there.
so what? Sorry.
It looks like you got some guns there. Gun show.
Oh, the gun show. I think this is like another thing. I did capoeira for about 15 years.
That's up your alley,
And
babe.
that's a lot of you're doing a lot of stuff on your hands and it's very acrobatic. So I think that's probably from that, because there's a lot of movements where your hands are on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're literally doing press ups the whole time you're playing so it's probably from that where I sort of got this look.
How long did you do it for?
Shed a few kgs. About 15 years.
15. Wow.
That's awesome. I love that. Capoeira's
I-
awesome.
I did it for like 5 years before my
wow.
today left.
Well, I was the opposite, so I left the UK. So I did it for probably about
Right, Eric?
maybe 10 or 12 in the UK, and then here for about 3.
Oh,
Or
nice.
so 4.
So is that like a
but
thing
it just
over
wasn't
there?
the same.
Yeah,
Sorry?
different schools provided different like lessons and stuff, and they teach it in different ways. And when you're used to one thing, like some of them, is it like what kind of, is it more Angola, or is it more like
No, it's called capoeira actual. So it's a mixture of the two. So they don't
regional?
differentiate between regional and Angola. It's a fusion. It's the fuse of the two. So
Ooh.
it's like my maestro is in Bahia, Master Sombra, and they have that capoeira actual style, which is like actual capoeira. So if I go to a regional roda, I can play standing up. Or if I go to an Angola roda, I can play ground level and slow and more cunning or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
done it for years,
nice.
though.
Yeah, I miss it.
So like
Yeah,
I felt
I keep
that
saying
too.
I'm gonna get back into it.
That's nice. I like that. It's like martial arts mixed with dancing.
And there's a lot of history and music
Yeah.
involved in that too.
Yeah. Yep.
We have Brazilians in the chat. I don't know if they're on the lurk, but we have at least 2 Brazilians in the chat. I don't know if you know Baroli. Robson Baroli's from.
I do know Robson Baroli.
yeah,
But he's like, oh man. So that is the level that I want to be at base. Like,
We love him here. We love him. He was on the podcast too
Robson
this
is
year.
just. I'd like to have a jam with him at some point. Him on
Robson,
bass,
if you're
me on drums.
listening, somebody wants to collab with you. He loves collabing. He's amazing. He does a lot of collabs. He's really awesome with the community. Like everybody. I mean, everybody loves him. He's such a bro, you know.
Yeah.
And also Dan, Dan is in the chat, but I don't know if he's on the lurk.
Oh yeah, he's from Brazil.
He's Brazilian too.
Oh.
And I know that
And what does he play?
he plays like he's multi instrumental with his streams too. He plays drums and guitar.
Guitar, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
get a lot of
on that
musicians here
whole,
in the chat.
it's good. On that whole guitar subject, I am definitely not a guitarist. I have been trying. So I've started learning guitar on Rocksmith in about the last 2 or 3 months. So I think maybe somebody's seen me and gone, "Oh, that guitar."
I thought you were a guitarist too.
He says he's not a guitarist, yet he owns like 15 guitars somewhere. Right?
I'm not a guitarist, but you know, I have and then he starts going down the list.
I have one guitar which was given to me, and I have an acoustic one which
All right, come on. You have an
it's in a
acoustic and an
cupboard
electric. Come on now.
And a rock band guitar, if that counts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well, then, if we
have
ever
done it.
meet up, we're gonna do a mini roda.
Oh, for sure, that would be awesome.
It'll be fun. And then I'll see if I get some the birimbau and the atabakis and stuff, and we get a little jam going.
Yeah, I
That's
do have a
awesome.
birimbau. I haven't played it for a while, but I have birimbau. So I got to the stage. I was just before I left. I was about to go for my Famado belt, but then I left to come here. So I did a lot of teaching of it as well for the school that I was in. But then I left. And my teacher did say, look, if I wanted to open a school here, then it'd be cool because I was at that level. But I just thought, that everything that goes into having a capoeira school is just like
It's a lot of work.
man.
Yeah, I would imagine.
There's a lot of promotions and a lot of what is that? Workshops and outside events. So you got to try to entice people because I think also it's not represented as a form of self-defense, and also they think it's more of a dance, if anything.
Yeah.
Versus
yeah.
And the acrobatic side of things is kind of intimidating too. So
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that it was devised as a weapon to begin with, but now just as they go through the history of it and they want to keep it preserved, and there's the game aspect of it. I mean, there are some hodders, man, that they still do full contact, and
oh yeah,
you can find them on YouTube, and they're like, yeah, okay.
That's kind of like how I learned. Like my master was he's like original, but he's from Baja Viento side, so it's it's contact, but it's like light contact, but it's very aggressive. So like
Light
if you're not moving and you get hit,
Well, this is the thing. This is what a lot of people don't get about capoeira. That they see it and they go, "Oh, but nobody's getting hit. Nobody's hitting anyone." But they're not getting hit because they're trained to see that shit before it gets to you. And
you get hit enough times, you're gonna move.
Yeah, if you just stood there, you would get hit. So it's like boxing. You're trained to know how to dodge and stuff, so you try not to get punched in the face. And capoeira is the same. You learn. But you just learn to see your opponent the right way up when you're not the right way up and all that sort of stuff. And you learn to, that's coming. And you move with it at the right time. It's a circular form. So
yeah, you set it up like a game of chess, and you kind of have to think about your moves in advance too, and position it. And then the music. And the music itself. Do you incorporate your music when you're playing, like your like the rhythms and stuff?
It's funny, I have created a couple of tracks. Like you're saying, when we used to do the whole shows and stuff and all the promotions, so we would do like some shows. So I put together, because we had breakdancers that were in our capoeira group as well. And they would have a bit of a show themselves just to show the mix between the two, like the similarities. So I did music for those shows as well back then. Which would incorporate a bit of kind of electro-y stuff with berimbau in it, and the three different berimbaus doing different things.
I love that.
Yeah.
I see another kind of stream coming too.
That's unique. Yeah.
Yep. Imagine, that would
You
be
got the
hot.
berimbau, so
That would be
why not?
hot, Zen.
Yeah.
Zen. That could be a thing. That could be a thing for you. Like I'm telling you, like you make the music and then you go in there and you do your moves and then you mix it with some other fusion.
Some of that jazz fusion and then throw some capoeira in there.
You come in with some new shit all of a sudden that people don't even know.
Yeah.
That's some other kind of pip style over there. Like imagine.
That's right.
Imagine. I would love it. I would love to see that.
I could talk about capoeira all day, but I think we want to hear some music from you.
Yes. So, are you ready to show us your first song that you've chosen to play?
Not really, but
not really. I mean, we could keep talking.
No, I am.
You're warmed up. Like,
no, that's cool. I don't know. It's just like I've got the air conditioner on.
How's the weather over there in Australia right now too? It's
good. We have had the wettest November in 30 years, I think they were saying.
Wow.
But it's still warm. Like the sun still comes out every day. That's the good thing about being here. Like, so my house faces east. So
Eric.
as soon as I get in, I see the sunrise, and then I see it go all the way over, and
Thanks for that
then
gift,
it sets over the ocean in the west. So I live about probably about a 10-minute drive from the ocean, which is good.
That's
It's just
beautiful.
such a
It's
good quality of
amazing
life
over
here.
there. It's so gorgeous there.
So yeah.
So what do you
It's
got?
good. The weather's normally good. Sorry?
What's the first song on the list?
Oh, so it's not something that anyone will probably know. I know Nas will know it because I have a YouTube clip of it. But because I like to just play and just improvise over stuff. I play to a lot of drumless music that's going on my iPad. Yeah,
Oh, that's like what EJ does too, drumless tracks.
Yeah, and because you can just do whatever you want. Like I've always thought, like, and nothing against readers, but I can't read music for shit. But I think, like, I've played with musicians who are readers, and it's like they've got a piece of sheet music, and it's like a printer processing a Word document. It goes in and goes out, and then there's no feel in there.
Sorry.
Whereas I think trying to listen and hear where stuff is supposed to, or where you think stuff would fit, I think for me that appeals to me more, because I'm feeling the music and it's coming in and it's being processed and then going out, if that makes sense. So yeah, this sort of track, I always mess it up.
No, don't say that. Don't.
When I play it.
You're gonna rock it tonight.
Like,
it's gonna be the ultimate night that you're gonna just kill it. Okay? That's what's gonna happen.
I'll probably drop my sticks and stuff.
You're gonna start doing fills, throwing sticks in the air, catching it.
Yes. I don't know what happened. I don't know what came over me, but I just nailed it this time.
I chose it because it's tricky, and it's one of the tracks that was a drumless track that it's called The Fuse, and it's one that really sort of like challenged me to sort of learn, and I've never played it the same way twice. There's bits in there, but
that's nice.
And I haven't really played it for a while. I think when I did the YouTube clip of it, it was like 2000. I don't know when it was, to be honest, but it was a while ago. But I figured I would try and do that one.
So you really enjoy playing this?
The drums on the laptop work. So yeah, I will try and do that.
I'm excited because it sounds like you said you never played the same way twice. That's good. That means you always put in your little twist and fills in there. Give it something else. I like it.
Yeah,
so what's the name of the track?
I'll probably mess it up.
No, stop saying it. You're not.
You won't mess it up. You'll rock out on it.
Yes. Come on, you're a pimp. You're a pimp. You're gonna rock it out. You're gonna make it.
To this day, yeah. It'll be interesting to see a few other drummers and how they do it. But yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's open it up with one of the songs he's gonna play for us tonight. ZenFusion. You guys are enjoying ZenFusion? I'm learning a lot about ZenFusion.
Oh, yeah. I do talk a lot on my streams, and probably talk a lot on this one.
We love it.
There's a lot of stuff that I haven't, that I've said on here that I never really needed to say on my normal stream. Okay.
We got the exclusives.
Yeah, there you go. That's only here on YenYorkCity Live, guys. There you go. All right. So what's the name of the track? Open up the track.
It's called The Fuse.
The Fuse. Okay, by.
It's the drumless track.
Oh, okay.
No, The Fuse. Who's it by?
The Fuse.
Yes.
The Fuse.
Yes.
I don't. No, it's not by. Yes, I don't know who it's by, to be honest. I did look that up to find out who it was by a while ago, but there's a place where I get a lot of drumless tracks from, called freedrumlesstracks.net. They have some premium ones that you can buy. This was just one of the premium. the artist.
You're
off the top
breaking
of
up
my
there
head.
with that
Yeah.
microphone.
I think because he's ready to play
sorry.
that just means he's ready for the
Yeah, he's ready
drumming
for the track.
because he
All
has
right.
to switch up
Yeah.
the mics. All right, guys.
Oh yes, sorry.
We got
Sorry.
ZenFusion here. He's gonna play the song "The Fuse." Is it called "The Fuse"? He's gonna rock
Yes.
out. He's not gonna mess it up. He's gonna rock it out
Called the
and
Fuse.
the Fuse with ZenFusion here on New York City.
All right. That's not it. Okay, damn. Damn. Shit.
What, dude?
Okay. Sorry.
That was actually.
sick. That was amazing. What?
There's a lot of
thanks.
parts
I
for
could
that,
mess
like
it
a lot
up.
of hits.
Yeah, so that was probably one of like a really challenging track for me to try and learn. But I just love it because it's yeah.
You didn't mess it up. See?
I did.
The fusion track.
The fusion,
Yeah,
because you
I
know what
guess,
it is.
yeah.
It doesn't. You can't mess up because you're just vibing with it. You know.
Well, yeah, there you go.
There's no messing up.
No, because you're just doing it, and yeah. So how are you guys feeling? ZenFusion in the chat. I see Soul. He got a gifted sub by
that's
Eric.
Soul.
Make him
Yeah.
honorary.
Yeah, Nasso is cool. Like he's probably definitely in the Twitch world. He's like the longest person that I've known. He's a friend in real life. We used to work together at PlayStation. So I've known him for about 25 years.
Wait, you used to work at PlayStation?
I did, yes. Dude, so
That sounds
myself
fun.
and Nas, we were like the original testers for when PS1 started.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were telling me a little bit about this when I went into your stream, and then he was ending the stream, and I went in there, and it became like a mini podcast. Like he just started talking about his life, and I'm like, "This is content. This is we're gonna talk about this in the podcast." So yeah, tell us about that. That's interesting. I like that. I want to hear about that because you are a gamer too. You are a gamer.
I am. Yeah. I'm not as good as I used to be though.
Aren't we all? Right? Like all the games.
I do love rhythm games. I do love fighting games. They're probably my main two sort of genres that I like to play. But I play all sorts of stuff. I'm hugely into VR at the moment, and VR rhythm games makes it even better.
Oh yeah, like the Beat Sabers. You do that, right?
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
That looks super fun.
Yeah, I want to play that.
So,
yeah.
I did a stream recently, which was a collab stream. So because there's no multiplayer on the PS4, I decided to create a stream with myself, Nasso, there's a girl called Natu, Jessie, and there's also Ruby, two rhythm gamers. So I set up a stream with all four of us on my stream, and we just did a score battle, and with the four of us on, and it was so much fun. So I'm looking at doing more of that. Maybe my Wednesday night stream will probably be a with friends stream for whatever game.
Yeah, you could do it with your subs, like have a sub only stream and have your friends that want to be able to play with you. And if they can, you should do that. That would be really fun to do. That's a good. So, is there anything that you feel like as a streamer now? So you touched upon how you started streaming just for fun, and then once you became affiliated, you were like, okay, well now I got to get serious, right? I got to stream every week. So do you set goals on your stream, like when you hit like a certain amount of followers or subs? And if you do you have any at the moment?
To be honest, so I don't. Like for me, and still at the moment, streaming is just something that I do. I enjoy doing it. I do it for fun. I don't ask for donations or money or anything like that. I just do it because I enjoy it. I try and interact with anyone that comes in. I'm always nice to them. I don't even know how many followers I have at this moment in time, to be honest.
510.
Oh, okay. I was doing the 500 thing, but yeah, I just, for me, it's
500.
It's not about like getting subs and everything's great and it's fine, but people don't have to, But I do have a few people who sub all the time. There's a few people that I give back to and sub, and yeah, I just do it for fun, and I think that's why I can do it, because I don't have that thing of, oh, I'm streaming and is anybody there or whatever. I mean, I think I just started streaming. It was like, well, I'm doing this, so I might as well turn the stream on, kind of thing. And it's like with gigging. One thing I learned with gigging is if you're in a band and you go to a gig and there's only one person in the audience, you still have to do your thing and play 100% because you don't know who that one person is.
Yeah, it could be a mogul, could be somebody.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'll just stream. I'll just do my thing. If people come in, they come in, we chat, and so on. They leave, and more people come in, and yeah, it's just more like a bit of a social thing for me.
Yeah,
it's not a revenue-making thing, but it just turns out that I don't know. Obviously, there's people that like what I do, and so they sub, and yeah.
That's beautiful. I think that's important because if you love what you do and you enjoy what you do, people are gonna see if you're doing it authentically because you love it and you enjoy it, and it's gonna show like on your face, you know, like
It's not stressful.
yeah. And you
Yeah,
come
I
and you're
mean-
like, I'm gonna just do this. Whoever watch, it's something I do anyways, and it makes me happy. So if I can make
Yeah.
somebody else happy and they watch me and they said, that's a bonus, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I look at Twitch as like it's kind of like an interactive YouTube. So,
Mhm.
like, if you want to learn how to do something, like if I wanted to learn something on drums, I'd probably look it up on YouTube and go, oh, okay, yeah. But if I can actually go to a Twitch channel, say, and ask the question, you can get the response there and then, maybe if the stream is not too busy.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? It's
That's
like
right.
you're finding out the detail that you don't see in the YouTube clip. There might be something you can say, oh, well, I see that, but how do you do this bit? And,
That's true.
you know, so I get people coming asking me all sorts of stuff about drums and whatnot, and what drum sets they get. And yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of streamers
Oh.
say that they used to do YouTube more, and then once they got on Twitch, it's almost like it changed the game for them. They're like, this is like YouTube, but I get instant interaction instead of waiting for someone to comment or whatever. And then you're like, oh, thanks, you know, or they ask you what kind of drum kit or something, and then it's like right here, it's you're interacting with the artists, with the musicians here, and it's almost like on a personal level. Like right now, we're talking. And there's musicians in the chat that are getting to know you more, and they're like, oh, like, I don't know if Toofy's still in here. He was like, oh, I didn't know about this drummer. How come I didn't know? And I'm like, well, now you know. Now you could follow him. And then who knows?
Yeah.
One day they'll come in with a raid, and then you'll see more people from the community, because that's what it is about Twitch. The music community is popping here, and everyone's super nice and always supportive with each other. And this is why I love having these streams, because people get to know you more on a personal level, and it's more like you become more human to people because you get to know them in a deeper level and how they started and why they're passionate about being a musician, a streamer, and why they do it. Like what you just said, you do it because you enjoy it. You know, that might touch somebody like, whoa, this makes me want to support him even more, you know? So I love that, and that's important, and I really think you have like the heart for streaming, because you're doing it because you really enjoy it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Anyone in chat have any
Something I was gonna say then,
questions
and I've forgotten what it was.
about the music community and interacting? It's like YouTube, but you're interacting with the musician, asking them questions.
It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
It's one of my numbers.
Yeah, that happens to all of us.
I
And
had a
then,
question and I forgot it.
so ZenFusion, I don't think
I just can't.
I don't think
What was that?
think
You
we.
broke up.
Oh yeah, I don't think we talked.
Nobody wants to ask me anything. Sorry, go on.
Well, it's fine. I have more questions here. So, I don't think you told us your 5 top favorite drummers that you're
I
inspired by.
wasn't asked.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't hit upon that
We're
one yet.
asking you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was getting water. Okay. Redeem water,
so-
Steven.
Okay. So this will take me back to when I was in school, because I did think about this.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, there was a program on TV in the UK. It might have been everywhere else. It was called Rock School. Now,
Thanks, Steph.
I will never forget this, because there's a beat that both myself and another friend of mine from school set ourselves a challenge to learn. I'll try and play it in a second.
Okay.
So bearing in mind, in school, we just learned, we were just doing this like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my hang on a second. Yeah. I think my other one was crashed.
You broke it with your epicness.
Yep. See, fortunately, it crashed when it did.
Oh yeah.
What? You have to restart it.
Yeah. It was
I'm gonna restart that. So there was a drummer who was on this rock school show, and there was a drummer, bass player, and a keyboard player and a guitarist. So this guy, Omar Hakim, was probably the first drummer that I saw, and I thought, oh wow, what was that? So there was this beat. Let me just choose. I don't know how this is going to sound. So there was this beat. So we were quite, just used to playing all that sort of stuff. And then I remember seeing Omar Kim do this 3/4 beat sort of thing. I'll just play it to see. Oh yeah, so. So it was that. Now, that might not mean anything to a lot of people, but for me, right, just after playing 4/4, I learned, we set, and I learned that. That was the first drum beat that I ever learned, like, from someone else. So I looked at it and I thought, hang on, this is like 3/4. This Omar Hakim guy is doing 3/4. So he used to drum for the Weather Report. And then all of a sudden, he's doing this. Like, to me, this was never a thing. Like, oh, the hi-hat now is, I don't have to use my hands anymore. And so, yeah, that Omar Hakim definitely, for me, was the first drummer that I saw. And I thought, oh, yeah.
Latin heritage.
Wow. That's different to what I've always seen. Second, Dave Weckl was the second drummer that I saw. I think it was when he did what was it? He did a song with Chick Corea. I think it was Sidewalk, and that was when I first sort of like.
I was gonna say Chick Corea because like their stuff together is crazy.
Yeah, and it was a song called Sidewalk, and he was using. I think it might have been either the Yamaha electronic drums or Simmons, and he just had those sounds, and I was like, oh man. Now the thing is, there was no internet then, so you had to just see it on some concert on the TV, or with Rock School, you had to videotape it every week if you wanted to see it, because if you missed it, you didn't know when you were going to see it again.
Man, kids don't even know.
The second one.
They don't even know nowadays.
Yeah.
They're like, what? It's like when you missed an episode of something. It's like, nope, you missed it until
and
they
hit the record and play button at the same time.
I know, right? It's when you would make those mixtapes from like the radio.
And then there was, I'd say Steve Gadd.
What's that? I know, right?
Yeah, Steve Gadd. Rock School. It's a program. You can look on YouTube and type in Rock School, and you can see all the episodes. They were very informative back in the day because they went.
It was the off-brand of the School of Rock.
Yeah, and they taught you stuff on there, so it was so good. The next one, was Steve Gadd, because I remember hearing him. I can't remember what he was playing in, but those ghost notes. Steve Gadd just has this certain style about him. It's like you hear him, and it's like you hear a song, and it's like, you know what, that's Steve Gadd, has to be, or that person is playing like Steve Gadd. So Steve Gadd had a really sort of definitive thing that just stapled him. Then I would say Akira Jimbo has been a big influence for when I started my band. So I don't know if you know Akira Jimbo.
Yeah, I used to watch him. He was big on the electronic stuff too.
Yeah, so he did a lot of music and stuff. So when I first started doing my band, that's what I used to do. I used to have my kick, my snare, and all that sort of stuff. But I literally play the melodies on the rims of the pads. until I realized that, well, nobody doesn't really know what I'm doing, so I might as well just sample it and hit it. And then I think, was that 4? It was.
I think that
wasn't
was
it?
4.
That was
Yeah.
4, yeah.
Yes.
I think I do. There's a few, like, I think Tony Royster Jr. is good. He's like, I've seen him from like
Again.
when he was 12 playing, and he's just a beast. I've met him.
Yeah, he is.
He's just like
And he's a
the water.
beast.
So that's 5. Is that 5?
He's got like a crazy speed, like
You drink water.
capability behind him.
Drink water. Posture.
And Jojo Mayer.
Oh yeah, Jojo Mary, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty straight.
And the funny thing is, the good thing about I don't know why, but coming here, since I've been in Australia, I have met most of my influences for drums and
Ooh.
bass. Whereas in the UK, I never did any of that. So like Jojo Mayer, I've met.
What?
Dave
That's
Weckl
one
I've
of
met.
your dudes too, EJ.
Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller, I've met those guys, and I've met them because I've done shows
Details.
and they've been on the same bills. So yeah. The only one I haven't met Omar Hakim.
He's still around?
Or Steve Gadd. He's still, yeah. I don't even know what he's doing, but I haven't met him or Steve Gadd.
I know Steve Gadd's still like doing some clinics here and there.
So how was that like to meet Joe?
So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I should say this on stream. Let me just.
Oh yes, they're getting exclusives.
So
This one time at band camp.
Yes.
So just so when I came here, and I'll go back a bit. Like I came here the year that I came here. So there's a
Good stuff.
There was a drum and bass band here called Pendulum. So they originated from where I live now.
Oh yeah.
And they left the year I got here, and they went to the UK. Was it the year I got here? I think the year I got here they left. So 2003 or 2 they left. So a few years after, I thought, well, there is no drum and bass band in WA, and there's a huge drum and bass scene here. So that's when I created Pimps of Sound. But Jojo Mayer was sort of like one of the first drummers. Oh, Johnny Rabb was another one who I used to like, because he was the drum and bass drummer as well. I saw that he was coming. So there was a show that he did with Nerve at just a local venue that's in Perth here. So I went there and I had a chat with him about. So I've met him twice actually, and yeah, we had a bit of a chat. But he's an interesting character.
Really?
Looks like it.
Details. I need details.
So good, but we just had a laugh because I knew the people that ran that club because we used to play there a lot. We just sat and chatted out the back and stuff. So I have a few photos of them, which are not like your.
You gotta put them in Discord.
Okay, those guys were hanging out, kind of thing. Not just the photo that you get if there's a clinic or whatever. But yeah, that was cool. Victor Wooten, I've met him twice. The first time was at a concert. The second time was actually meeting him, and the same with Marcus Miller.
Making money. Thanks for that.
Those guys, like for me, they was just to meet those guys who.
That's amazing.
Influenced me. I think the first time I heard of Marcus Miller and Victor Wooten, and I didn't even know it was them, there was a song called Miller Time that I used to listen to, and I was like, I was thinking, is that 2 basses in there? It's got to be. I didn't really know much about bass then, and then I looked it up, and funnily enough, it was Victor Wooten and Marcus Miller at a concert doing this whole.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah.
So 2 behemoths.
So yeah, but I will put some pictures in your Discord. I have a little folder on my Facebook.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely put it in there. I wonder what I should call that. I wonder I don't know what I should call.
Celebrity photo op. I got to meet what's his name? Marco Miniman.
Oh yeah. I've seen him as well. He's done a clinic here. I didn't meet him personally, but I've watched a few clinics. Yeah, I've seen a lot of clinics here, man. And Chris Coleman, Marco Miniman. Oh, one I really liked, Sonny Emery from Earth, Wind and Fire. He is a monster drummer.
OMG, you met him? Oh, that's amazing. That's another story. That's another story that I want to hear.
Thomas Pridgeon.
I love
Tony Ross
Thomas
Jr.
is a monster.
Yeah. Tony Ross Jr. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He's a Latin drummer. He was at the same time as Tony Royster. What's his name? I can't believe I can't remember this guy's name. The Latin drummer. Horacio Hernandez. If you're into Latin, that's the man you need to check. He's like the ultimate Latin drummer is Horacio Hernandez. And yeah, there's been a few others. I'm trying to think of their names. Oh, obviously Don Formularu. He's like, oh, you think I talk a lot?
There's so much more.
We love
I
it,
remember
though.
being at a clinic once, and Don was like talking, and people were like saying, "Come on, get some drums played."
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Kind
the
of sounds
fun
like
of it.
Twitch.
Yeah, like play my song, like some fire
Play
says.
my song.
Play my song, streamer. Hey, I mean, I think that's kind of like it's like the sprinkles on a cupcake. Like you only get like a little bit of that, you know, and it's like, oh, that's nice. You're getting to know a little bit more about your streamer, your musician, and then you see the little things that they love. I like it. It's more personal. It's like what you said. You can't get that from like watching a YouTube, you know. So and you get to interact.
Yeah, I think this is a really good idea. I remember what I was going to say now. I think it's a really good idea. Because I've been tuning into these podcasts like since you mentioned it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I come to them like because I'm working from home, I can do that. But what I was going to say before, when you were talking about the bringing everyone together, so one thing that I would really like to do. I don't want to have to organize it though. So if someone else could, that'd be great. So recently in September, there's a couple of guys who they decided to put together an event called Shredfest. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Yeah. I think I heard it from Progcraft, I think. Was it Progcraft?
So what that was there's a lot of Rocksmith streamers out there, and they don't really know each other. So what they did was the second one is coming up, the third one is coming up in December. So they
Steven
thought
knows.
the first one they got, I think, 48 or 24. They did it over 24 hours. So everyone played. They picked one band in Rocksmith that they could play. They did it like an hour set. So it was like a 24-hour concert, and you went from one person, raided the next.
Like a train.
So he'd take his people.
Yeah.
And so on. And the last one was in September, which I was in, and that was over 40. Oh no, that was 3 days. Just one after the other raiding. So I would like to see the same sort of thing, even if it's a 24-hour one, with drummers, just picking a band and doing an hour set.
I know, like Dream Theater, because there's so many Dream Theater fans that are drummers. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just
hey, baby, you could do that maybe next year.
So
we'll see how DMCA works out.
Yeah, that's the thing now.
Yeah,
you can't really do that. Now
well.
it's iffy now. Now it's kind of like, that's why I'm like, phew. I got everyone
it's
in
kind of
this year.
This stuff, because I don't know. I mean, and I've talked about this on my stream quite a bit with people because they ask, "What do I think about it?" Because I'm streaming Rocksmith, and I'm like, "Well, what can? I mean, there's ways around it, but like, I'm happy with like I don't really watch my VODs, so I'm happy with Twitch muting my VODs, and I'm happy to delete them. But I think like Twitch originally was like a gaming platform from what I can remember, but now it's like I'd say maybe 60+% of it is people doing something related to music. So if everyone, I think it would hurt Twitch more if, they started banning people and all that sort of stuff. And it's not like we're intentionally playing music to make money off it. Now, I get where they're coming from because, I've had, like, I did a concert once, and the concert people who held it, they started to promote another concert, and in their marketing stuff, they used one of my songs without asking me. So I get it, because my songs are registered. So here in Australia, and I think the guy last week, Alpines, was it?
Alpine,
it's Alpine.
Yeah.
He was saying the same thing. Over here we have APRA, so every time if I've got original music that I play at a gig, or covers, every time I do a gig, I register what songs I've played and what venue, and then it's just in an app or on the website, and then at the end of the year they'll send me a royalty check or whatever. But it's all registered. So even if I play covers, I will do the right thing and put in, I played this song and this song, and then every venue here pays to APRA in order to be able to have live music at their venue. So
Yeah.
Twitch could do a similar sort of thing. I think they mute the VODs anyway, so they do have a means to vet what's being played. So I think if they came up with some form of thing, even if it was a song request, Twitch song request bot, that they go, right, well, all song requests go through this so that every time a song gets played, it does the right thing, and the royalties go to whoever has done that song. I mean, it'll be a lot of money going out. And I think also, even if Twitch decided to charge a small fee, I reckon
I think all of us would be
if
we have to pay a fee, then why not? Most of us would anyways, and we're asking for it, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, like, then, Facebook has already signed a way to sign off for creators, their partnered creators that can play the copyright music because Facebook is backing the rights for it.
Yeah.
So,
but then
Twitch makes a lot of money, I think.
Yeah.
The other issue here is that even if the VODs are muted, not the entire VOD is muted. Like, there's still segments of songs that are still copyright that the system hasn't registered as copyright music and can still potentially get flagged. The other thing that has occurred is that people are still getting flagged even after they deleted their VODs.
Oh, are they?
So that's those are things we gotta watch out for, and we can dispute it, but is that
mainly bigger streamers though, or like?
As of right now, that they're targeting that because they're the ones that are providing most of the viewership that's listening to the music.
Right.
I mean, they're working the system so that they're going to work their way down into the smaller streamer realms. I'm sure there's people that already got DMCA'd as a mid tiered streamer, and you got their first or second strike in. I saw a post that someone said they got striked for a song that wasn't even a song, and it was their
blender.
What was it?
I think that was a joke, though. That was a joke. It was a skit. What was his name?
Skrillex.
Yes, because his music is like.
It's dubstep.
Imagine.
Oh, fair enough.
Imagine you're getting DMCA from your blender.
Because it sounds like a song to them. That's I would take offense to that.
They need to do something, I think. Twitch will probably get hurt more.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be getting hurt. I mean, the other thing too is that there's a bigger streamer that got flagged 3 times and has yet to get banned from Twitch. So that says a lot about what Twitch is doing on their end. So
yeah, right. Okay.
Get it together, man.
We'll see how everything pans out. I mean, I'm sure they're working on it. So,
and it's also
right now, we
affecting
just gotta
them
play safe.
As a business. way of thinking it, it's affecting them because people are like bouncing. They're like, all right, I'm out then. I'm not going to be doing this if I can't even play what I freaking like to play. And and then if they're not comfortable with doing originals, or they're not, they're not into that because they can, or they feel they can, they're gonna leave. And also that's gonna affect everything, like money wise, for the company.
This hurts the people that aren't overly creative either, because then they're left without nothing. Because then they're people who can't create and can't adjust to have an open not just like an open mind, but like an open creative opportunity, where they would have to either create their own music or work on collaborations where you guys can do like a Twitch like band type of recording session and then create music together where we can play our music through Twitch performers. There's a lot of potential opportunity that a lot of people are working on jumping into, and they're more focused on the fear factor as opposed to the opportunist.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why, like, for me, and I would encourage everyone, that if you're fearful about the situation, work on what you can do to better the situation than panic about the situation. So like whether that is collaborating with others, make original music, playing to songs that are copyright free and you're getting a license for that. Like Zen, you have those drumless tracks, right? And those are ones that are pretty much copyright free, so you can just jam on those.
Yeah, and that's how I started.
Create challenges around that, and loops, and also expand your creativity. Learn how to play another instrument. Take the opportunity to do that, and then start making riffs and then loops and jams off that. So that's an opportunity.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for the follow, 5 mil. Oh yeah, that's true. That's so
yeah,
true.
I mean, you have to think about that, especially like if you don't want to stop streaming, you don't want to lose your momentum of playing music. Like you have to think of an alternative.
Outside the box.
And if there's nothing that the platform is going to do for you, then you got to adjust. And that's not to say like, you can still do like those recorded like drum covers and post them on YouTube. Like YouTube doesn't really focus a lot on like the like you don't see a lot of the strikes and stuff and your channel's getting taken down like that. Their ruling is a lot more professional in a sense, where you get demonetized and you'll lose the income for it, and that's fine.
Yeah, because you're just showing your creativity and your ability to play the song.
Yeah,
everyone will probably start streaming to YouTube instead.
Well, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet to if you're in the whole YouTube realm, then stay there and also create here.
That's not to say that you're not going to get striked on YouTube either. So like there's there's still those songs out there that you're like, well,
it's true, you get flagged.
Gotta be careful with that. A lot of those Disney songs really get striked.
No, Disney. Disney's a devil. Yeah. Luna Big Burns. Yeah, like what Flight said, I hope Twitch comes out with a Spotify type app with that's something like that. That would be great, and they getting us to pay for us to be able to not worry about doing that, and having kind of a safe place where you can stream and not be afraid to stream anymore and not leave, because a lot of people are like, I'm gonna leave then, or like they're not happy.
Even with Amazon Music, if they could just do something with that.
Tie it in. I mean, they have if they're running rights with Amazon, then why not collaborate those rights into Twitch?
Hi Nigel, 5 or 10, like Prime, if for free they will sell more Prime membership. That's genius. That would be amazing. That's a good idea. Are you listening, Twitch? Look, ideas.
There's a lot of potential, and I think I don't know who's running the music section of the Twitch company, but they really need. I mean, I can't say because I don't know what the kind of work that they're dealing with over there, but there is definitely a lot of opportunity that they can jump on and work on. Hire more staff if they need the help.
Well, that's it.
So I think we're ready for the next song, ZenFusion.
Oh,
What's the next song? And also, you did tell us the 5 favorite drummers, and then you started talking about all the awesome drummers you met. So we got kind of like we went the other way, which is awesome because that's great. I love those stories. But yeah, what are your favorite bands actually? What are your 5 favorite bands?
5 favorite bands.
Where all those drummers came from.
Do you know one of my 5 favorite bands? 5 favorite bands. Good question. I know who my favorite band of 2020 is.
Okay.
What is it?
Definitely. Thank You, Scientist.
Thank you, Scientist.
Yeah, like, so in one of my drum streams, might have been about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, somebody requested a song. The whole time I was trying to play to it, I mean, I can't drum to their songs because they're just ridiculously hard, or I haven't learned them. They're ones that you have to learn, but I played along.
Meanwhile, he'll probably annihilate it.
Nah,
like that last one.
But, whilst I was playing to it, all I could listen to was the bass. And I was like thinking to myself, this is the kind of bass that I want to learn. So I got all the songs on Rocksmith. Fortunately, you were there. So I've been learning bass on some of their songs, and it's not easy. But it's pushing me, and it's helping me to learn different techniques. So they're my favorite band to listen to at the moment. Just because I want to pick up the bass. The drums, or just for music in general. Who else do I like? I like all sorts, and I'm terrible with names of artists. Like, since playing Rock Band, I've been open to a wider range of music. So I grew up around funk, reggae, house, fusion.
That's awesome.
But now, I like Disturbed. I like Avenged Sevenfold.
You like all Rush. The genres.
I like Yes.
Those are great bands.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that I'm finding I like now. I don't play any death metal simply because like just the whole blast beat thing, like.
Oh yeah, the blast beat.
For me, it's just like, it's just like
I've never really. You're not into the blast beats, like.
Sacrilege.
I just can't do it. It's just like I don't mind playing heavy metal and new metal and all that sort of stuff, but I just haven't learned.
Oh, stop, Steven, stop. We got a lot of different flavors in Twitch. Like, that's what I love about it. Next week we're gonna have a shredder and we're gonna have a metal guy, G-Bus, if you guys don't know him. So there's a lot of different musicians to like all the genres, but I love to hear people that are actually open to all the genres. And you sound like you're really open to like, I'll play it. I mean, I'm not gonna blast beat all day in my stream, but like you'll try it, right?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So I don't want.
You'll try it, right?
I don't want anyone to get me wrong on this. So I'm not saying I don't like death metal. So what I'm saying is, like, if I play Rocksmith, I'll play all that stuff. It's the physical capabilities on the drums as to why I don't play death metal on stream.
Because, it's good. It's fine.
Like,
it's all good.
That whole I've never learned to do blast beats, and I've always had this thing, like, I know blast beats are like you're just hitting everything at once. And one thing I learned when I was younger was that somebody asked me what makes, oh no, I shouldn't even say this because some people might say this.
Say it right now.
So
I will correct you in a few.
Yeah, so somebody asked me the question years ago. They said, "Oh, what do you think makes music interesting?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, the melodies, the tones, you know,
how it makes you feel,
dynamics and stuff." And the one thing that I didn't say, which was the one answer they were looking for, was silence. And I was like, okay. And this is, well, it's when you don't play, that's what makes your music interesting. So I've always sort of followed that, and hence with me doing like
Why his name is
learning by
Zen.
ear, I've always try to find where I can fit in. So like for instance, if I do that, that's interesting for a while. But if I do, you know, what I mean, I'm leaving gaps now, and that's like, oh, okay.
It's more in the
That's-
dynamic
that's a bit-
range.
Yeah,
That
I did. I didn't
technical.
leave any gaps, did I? Still, but so for me, it's trying to play blast beats. It's on my list, because I know the music around it is different. Like I do like that whole gent thing as well. I can't play any of it. I've never tried to play any of it, but you know,
No, I get it. I get
I
it.
do like the music, but I think physically I've just never tried it. So that's the only sort of reason why I don't have it. I don't play it on my drum streams, because I'll get it and it'll be like, I'm like, well, okay, shit.
It's okay. It's
I've
all
gotta
good. We
just
have
sit here and
so
listen.
many like drummers that try it and they're like, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's not for me.
Yeah, I'm not a blast beat player, but I can appreciate the skill
Yeah.
and the talent that goes behind it, because
yeah.
that does take a lot of
There you go.
endurance,
Yeah, it
a
does.
lot of
And
time to
I'll
develop.
play it on bass streams. I'll try it. I'll try it on bass streams, because it's yeah, it's just different. But for drumming, yeah, it's like, man. And I remember when jazz used to be the thing, like, oh, if you could play jazz, you can play anything. But then I think the whole blast beats thing is on another level. It's like it's a separate thing that you have to learn. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of jazz drummers who can't do that, whereas before a lot of jazz drummers could do everything.
Yeah. I get
but
what he
yeah,
means,
so-
because like one way of putting it into perspective too. I remember Thomas Frank, when he was on the stream, he said it's kind of like when you're a singer, right? And like somebody that has like a crazy voice like Christina Aguilera or something, right? And then they go off on a like tangent of like and then they just go too much and they're just like doing it, and it's like, okay, we get it, you know how to sing. It's like, okay, we get it, you know how to play fast, but like, can you do like the little melodic
Yeah.
or the stuff that
But
makes
do you have rhythm?
right? Like, can
Well,
you do
that's
that
it,
or
that's it.
technique? You know. And those little silent parts, like you said, like those little trinkets of like transitions, you know, like when it
But
goes
that's what
fast and
separates-
slow.
And that's what separates like talent. And it's not just like, it's not like one person's more talented than another. It's just like we are, you know, we
live
are
for the groovy parts.
within our own, you know, capabilities. And like a blast beat player that only knows metal and plays nothing but metal can't just like drop back and play pop and have that
Yeah.
same feel, you know, because they're going to incorporate their metal, you know, techniques behind it. Whereas like funk and like jazz and like pop and stuff is very like laid back, you know, and learning how to play behind the beat and in front of the beat and like having those like, you know, it's just the feels are completely different. But then it's the same thing, like a pop or funk player won't be able to play metal just as well, you know. And metal has its own feel. Like I'm a progressive rock player, like I learned how to play it
that as well.
Yeah, I've learned how to play a lot of funk and play a lot of blues and stuff like that. So like I had to learn to adjust. And my like it's funny because I had someone say like, you know, every time you play, like you fit in to those realms. But then if I go into like playing metal, like blast beat stuff, and like I'm like,
But you could do the technical shit.
no.
But you could do like the technical, like crazy, like Mike
That's
Portnoy
because
stuff.
like I've learned a lot of progressive rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Progressive metal is another thing. Like I like learning gent and stuff like that. That's not me either. Like I can play a little bit, but like I can't get the feel of that. I love it. I just if I play it, it won't have that same feel compared to like progressive rock. You know.
Yeah.
I get
and
it.
that's the thing, like with I think I sort of started with a lot of feel-based music, so funk, reggae, you know, Latin. I used to listen to some of that, but it's all feel-based music. So when I started to write drum and bass, I had to think differently because that drum and bass music wasn't played originally. It was programmed. So I had to learn to play like a machine at first. So you know, like the things like house and drum and bass and dubstep and that, although they have a feel, they're not feel-based music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They're very like spot on.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's all good.
Is your next song a dubstep song?
It's not actually. It is. So you want me to do an original?
Yes, so guys, he is also he also has originals, and so he's gonna give us some of a preview of what he's gonna start playing more on streams. Hopefully, have original stream.
Possibly, yeah. I would like to really. I'm actually going to set up the online jamming thing that I used to use. I'm going to try and stream that because that's purely improv. You just have a few people in a room just improvising. So that's a thing that I'm going to try and set up with a few streamers.
I like it. I want to hear it. So yeah, so what do you want to play? What was it, the second song you were going to play that you
yeah.
And then we're going to go to the original.
Oh, I didn't have a second one.
Okay. So chat, what would you like? This is your chance, chat. This is your chance. Your chance to throw him a curveball or throw him something that you think that you want him to try to play. So what do you got? What do you got, chat? What do you got?
So I got a random question for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Ever since you moved to Australia, how many kangaroos did you have to punch?
Oh my god, I've seen those videos on YouTube with the guy that like punched a kangaroo and they look like they're boxing.
How many kangaroos did you have to punch to survive?
Have you ever encountered one out of the blue, like the way we have deers here? They have kangaroos over there.
So it's kind of funny. So like where I live, there's certain places. So if I drive up north, I have to get there before sunset because there'll be kangaroos everywhere. So your speed will drop. Yeah.
What?
So and here, like there's a road.
Just
on
hopping
that side of my house.
everywhere.
They
kangaroos
at
everywhere.
Nighttime. Like there's you see so many dead kangaroos on the side of the road.
Oh no!
Because what happens is
I don't want that.
They
visual.
come out at night looking for water, and they bounce. They'll bounce alongside your car, and then they'll just jump in front of it. Or you'll get the ones that are just in the road,
commit suicide.
and they'll see the lights, and they'll just look up, and they'll be like,
Poor things.
Kinda
They're just thirsty.
Yeah, and it's pretty dangerous because they come straight in to your. You got to have.
What a random question.
They call them rhubars. So if you don't have rhubars that knock them away, they'll just hit the bonnet and come straight in, and they'll smash through your window, and then they'll start scratching around. And
they'll fuck up your car that way.
And then you're starting to punch them out your window.
You're like, fucking kangaroos, man.
They're everywhere, and you don't like. We have a cemetery not far from us, and you just go there, and they just sat there, eating flowers. Yeah,
that's sad.
Aw, poor kangaroos.
But they're cool. They're cool. They're not a pest. Like apparently here, there's a lot of camels up north, and they think the camels are pests. Like,
but if you don't aggro them, they don't attack
the camel
you.
as a pest.
Yeah, I didn't think a camel would be a pest.
Oh.
No, but there are a lot of them. Wild goats.
I love camels with their eyelashes. They have some cute eyelashes. They're so cute.
Never there chewing like.
You just have that face.
Bottom jaw workout.
They're so cute. Kangaroos are cute though too. With the
Was it
little
intimidating to
pouch.
come across a kangaroo like life size? It's like, yo, he's as big as me.
Some of them are literally like you think they're small, and then they stand up and they're like, oh shit. And then you get some little ones. But
That's when you
what
get
they
to
do
practice
is
them
they grab
guns,
you.
and that's when
Sorry?
you're like, that's when you show them you have guns, the other kind of gun.
Well, that's right. Just have to punch them out. But they'll grab you, and
Oh my
they'll
god.
get their foot in you and just like.
So you've gotten
their toes are
hit?
quite
Like,
pointed.
did any of them actually punch you or strike you in any time? Like,
No, I've never been hit by one. Like the wild ones will just bounce, but they will attack you. I've seen people
oh
riding their
man,
bike,
like in front of
and
you?
like all of a sudden a kangaroo just jumped out and knocked them off their bike.
That's
Why?
messed
I
up.
don't know.
You
but-
can't even go bike riding in Australia.
Territory.
So yeah,
Kangaroo's like, the fuck out of my road here.
The hell out of here.
but yeah, there's heaps of them, but they're not anything to worry
Off
about.
the
The main
bike.
thing you got to worry about is if you're driving at night and you don't see one, or one jumps in front of your car, then you're fucked,
That's rough.
pretty much.
Wow, that was a random
Yeah.
question, Luna.
Hey,
was.
but it was a good one.
It was a good one. See, this is the stuff you don't get to
Really
know
got
about,
in,
you know?
in depth.
We're learning about it. So with COVID this year, is it like very strict now? Because usually I've been I've been asking that also. Everybody's from different parts of the world here. It's obviously New York has been hit really big. How is it in Australia this year?
So Australia is a fair size. So I'm in the west. We have pretty much been I'd say we've been the safest spot. So we had a little bit of lockdown back in March, and everyone was buying all the toilet roll and stuff. And,
So you guys
just
went through that
freaking
too.
out and shit. And then that died down probably about a month later, and we haven't had any cases. So we've been going to bars and all that sort of stuff, and it's pretty much been open here.
Masks are required.
None
Whoa.
of that, which means that we are not really prepared if shit does hit the fan.
Oh,
so
shit.
they've just opened up the borders for the rest of Australia to now come to Western Australia. They opened them up at the weekend, I think, or maybe Sunday or Saturday.
Wow.
A lot of people here are against it because we've not had to worry. So yeah, and somebody said earlier that Australia over east, I think 2 of the places have closed their borders again because there's 17 new cases.
Wow.
17, sorry. But we haven't got any cases here where we are, so we've been just living the dream basically until we're not.
Awesome. So in
So,
Australia,
yeah.
that's awesome. I hope it stays that way too. So in Australia,
Same.
because it's gorgeous and scenic everywhere, if somebody was a tourist like me and would go over there, where would you take them? What's like the most beautiful place that you think is a spot that everyone, if they visit
Don't
there?
say Sydney.
No. Well, I've never been to Sydney. So I'm in Western Australia, which is like far away from everywhere else. I'm closer to Bali and KL and stuff. It's cheaper for me to fly to Bali than it is to fly to Sydney or Melbourne.
Oh.
So if you were coming to Western Australia, I would say definitely you'd want to go up north to check out. I would go to like Coral Bay. So that is it's just a little town, but you just go and camp there or whatever. It's right on the ocean. You can go and sit in the ocean. If you've got bread in your hand, you go and sit in the ocean. You can. It's all protected though. If you put a piece of bread in the water in your lap whilst you're sat in a bit of water, you will just see all this snapper just come and start eating out of your.
Snappers. I don't know if I want to do.
You stay away from my pants.
It's
Snapping
Snapping all
stuff.
things. Snapping on.
because normally fish,
Yeah.
when you go like within a couple of meters of a fish, they scarper. But these, they just come and it's like nothing else.
It sounds
so
beautiful
definitely
though,
go there.
like tropical looking fishes, like beautiful fishes coming to you.
Yeah, snorkeling's good.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. They ain't getting near my way.
You're snapping near my worm. What's wrong
But
with you?
there are sharks. Yeah.
Oh, sharks, yeah. And the surf life there is big, right?
Yeah, it is. It's funny because when I first came here, I was like, well, because I'm not a good swimmer, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to go in the ocean because I'll just get eaten by a shark. And you know, my girlfriend at the time was like, oh, you won't get eaten by a shark. That doesn't really happen anymore. We got here, and we went down south. So that weekend,
Imagine.
2 people were taken by sharks, and I was like, okay. And they were taken by sharks not far from where we were. And then a few weeks later, another shark attack. You get shark sightings all the time here. And for me, I just think it's where they live. So you can't expect to go
Yeah.
in the water and
Like if
not
you're
be at the
aggravating
risk
them.
of getting eaten alive. So yeah, I love going in the ocean though, but I don't go out of my depth
Yeah.
because there would be no more me.
No.
Yeah.
So.
So do we do a chat request, or are we doing an original?
Oh yeah. You didn't say. Well, Oh, I don't think
I
chat.
thought
We
you
were just
waiting
talking
for someone
about
to-
snappers and. Well,
Someone said this girl is on fire. This girl
Oh, is that a song?
fire.
I thought they were talking about Yen.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think anybody put a song in. Well, what were your top 5? Oh, I don't think we talked about your top 5. Well, yeah, you did say. I think you did say your
I
top.
did, and then I said, well, there's not really. I did the Thank You Scientist. Oh yeah, I did. I went Thank You Scientist, Disturbed,
Yes.
Sevenfold, Yes,
Rush.
Yeah, right.
and Rush. Steve Miller Band is good. Yeah, there's a few, and they're all recent.
Wait,
So-
didn't you say that you liked what was it? Pentagram? Was that the one?
Oh, Pendulum.
Pendulum.
Pentagram.
Yeah, I do like Pendulum.
I'm like, I'm gonna say this
Um,
wrong. Alpine played, I think, last week.
He did.
Yeah, right. And he was talking about them.
Yeah, I do like Pendulum, but my
And
original
Steven,
one
right?
is similar to that style. So if anyone's going to request
Pendulum
anything,
is sick.
Well, let's do that one.
Don't mind doing something of a different style. Or
A different style. You want to do anything that you feel like you shine the most. Play something that you feel more comfortable.
Shit.
He's like, I don't know which one that one is.
I just go with the flow and try and thing. If you guys have got a request that's not too hard, I'll.
How about what do you think, Luna? What do you think? What's a good one you
could
could
drum and bass song
like-
that he
like
might
something-
like? Maybe
something
from
that-
Nerve.
Oh gosh.
something that you think that he would really like rock out on with his style? Because you're a drummer, you know, like what style would like be something you would want to hear him play, like a
But
request.
you like a lot of drum and
Or
bass
something
stuff,
funky.
right?
Yeah.
Or
I
something
do like
funky.
drum and bass. I like funk. Funk is a good choice.
All right.
Like really, yeah.
I'll throw some James Brown up in there.
James Brown.
Yeah, you could do.
You pick a song from James Brown.
Like
a sex machine. Get on up.
any.
Get on up.
pants.
Yeah, there's that one, or just some raw funk. Let me
Yeah,
think.
throw some funk. Whatever you got that's funky.
Do you want me to just pick
But
one?
don't funk it up.
so-
If I
I'm gonna
said-
take it that the chat doesn't want me to try and play something.
Oh
Well, we're
no,
gonna-
what was that?
I'm hurt. I'm cut.
Well, we're gonna play your original that sounds like Pendulum, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
So
what's up, honey?
yeah, well, it's probably not the most pendulum sounding one, but let me just find something. Shit, man.
Yeah, we threw you on a loop there, huh?
Yeah, I'm terrible with names of songs. Okay, on go the glasses again. What about? Okay, here's what I'll try and do. Then. I'm just gonna try and satisfy some people, then the masses.
masses.
Satisfy the masses.
Are you using that app that Elgato took over for your phone? as a camera?
No. Oh, I'm just using this one. I'm just using OBS Droid Cam.
Oh, Droid Cam. Oh, okay, it's a Droid.
Droid Cam OBS. Yeah. It just works. It just works. So okay, I'm gonna do this then because I like it. Again, it's it's one that I can probably play better on bass, but it will.
That's gonna be fun. Funky one.
It's not actually funk.
But which is the one that you decided on? It wasn't a funky one? Wasn't a funk one? A jazzy one? Or just like straight up rock?
Nah, it's actually I'm thinking of, because nobody's requesting anything. I'm thinking of maybe doing a Disturbed song.
Ooh, Disturbed. Yes. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
He's got a sheet of paper there with notes.
It's just so my keyboard doesn't get hot. No, that's my 12 thingy question.
Because I gave him a heads up on the last one of the last questions.
Is there a way to fix the latency on that?
Oh, on what?
On the drums. No, like when you're hitting the drums, there's a bit of a latency.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. What?
Yeah, that's the whole
just happened.
Better now?
No, it's still latency.
What, from when I?
Yeah, when you actually hit it, and then
to the video.
Yeah. You're hitting
like
it
Bruce
first,
Lee
and then
moves.
the audio comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still
Sorry.
a little behind.
Fine.
So how's everyone in chat? Everyone on the lurk, what's up? If you are just tuning in, this is ZenFusion. He's a drummer slash bassist. Also, he does games. So we have him here tonight. He's all the way in Australia. And yeah, he's been talking about how he started playing drums and how he has like a billion bass guitars, and he considered himself more.
A billion.
Yeah, he has a bunch of basses, and yeah, and he needs to name them all. But yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah.
And he's gonna play the second song of the night, and he's also gonna show us an original. So right now we were just deciding on which song he was gonna play. But
so it's one that I learned in Rock Band.
okay.
Well, I played it in Rock Band and I liked
Australia,
it.
that's why the link.
So this is gonna be from Rock Band memory that I tried.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right.
All right, ZenFusion here on YenYorkCity.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear glitches. I don't know when the beginning starts.
now for me to light my dedication to one that loves, one to protect. I carry out my orders without a regret. My declaration embedded deep under my skin, a permanent reminder of how it began. No hesitation when I am commanded to strike. You need to know that you're in the fight of your life. You will be shown how I become indestructible. Determination and this incorruptible. From the endless side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that their opponent cannot be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of war. Determination that is incorruptible. From the other side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that their opponent cannot be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of war.
Yes,
song.
Sam. Yes, that was
And I learned that from
awesome.
Rock Band.
Good
Oh, thanks.
stuff.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
So you learned that from Rock Band?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. There's a few. Yeah, just playing Rock Band. So I think Rock Band is good for teaching you songs. The only thing you don't get with Rock Band is there's no dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah. good.
That was solid.
Yeah, that was awesome.
No, thanks.
Rockin' here with ZenFusion, guys. If you're not following ZenFusion, go drop him a follow because he's awesome. And he was in a band called the Pimps of Sound. He was telling us, right? Is it the Pimps of? Did I get it
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he's a
Yep,
burp.
Pimps of Sound,
Yeah,
that's right.
he's super fun, super awesome, super
He
talented.
just joined another band today.
Today, so it's,
And-
you heard
and
it
you know
here
what?
first.
I don't even know what they're called.
We don't know what they're
Joining a
called,
band,
but
I
they're
don't
gonna
know
be
who they are.
epic.
I have seen the name, but I don't know what they're called. To be honest.
Woo,
But yeah,
good
so I've
job.
decided to come out of my being a recluse. and
Musical
join these
shell.
guys.
Yeah, I love seeing that. I love that. Let that creativity flow.
You got a rehearsal with them tonight too, you said, right?
I do, yeah. I think it's time I got back out there. And
Do it,
I've
yeah.
been so happy just not having to do all that stuff. And my mate said, "Oh, look, I'm in this band. They really need a drummer," and I was like, and I just
Are you
thought,
hinting something? yeah,
I went to listen to him, and I thought, okay,
You like them.
Yeah, I can do this.
It's like, I'll see who I find.
So yeah, and I know them anyway. And the bass player was the bass player from my band, so and
Oh,
we're
so
like
yeah,
best
you know
mates.
him already.
So
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So it would be
Pretty
rude of me
sick.
not to join. It was interesting because I went to see them play last weekend, and they knew that my bass player had asked me to join. So I was thinking, what if I go there and didn't want to join and didn't say anything? How would they have felt? I'm like,
The awkwardness.
But yeah, but you know, if I just didn't say anything,
Like, I don't think so, guys.
Great. But no, it was cool. I did what they were doing. It's kind of weird that the guys from France and they were here before, and then they went to living over there. Now they're back. So it's yeah, it's kind of an interesting style. It's not like what I would normally play. There's a little bit of a little bit of a jazzy, bluesy, folky, Afrobeat. It's a bit of a mixture.
Okay, so it's another fusion band. That's nice.
It is.
I like that. I like just fusing all those genres together and see what happens. Get a hybrid baby of music.
Yeah, that's it. ZenFusion, that's it.
Yeah, let's do it. I can't wait to hear it.
That's your stage name right there.
Yes.
Someone introduced you to come out on stage and be like, ZenFusion. A massive echo.
See, whereas I don't think I would do this on stage. I don't know. I've never thought about it.
ZenFusion, formerly known as the Pimp of Sound.
That's it.
What was your capoeira nickname?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't get one.
You didn't get one after 15 years?
The only person that didn't get one.
What?
Like my teacher was called Tijolo, which means the brick, because he when he had his first grading, he was quite heavy, so he got named Tijolo, which is brick.
He's a brick.
Another guy. Like Letitia, which is lizard, I think. And when you watch him play, he is very, very lizard-like. But I never got one.
A lizard name?
Never got one.
I am the Lizard King.
I got one, but I forgot it.
Well, oh yeah, what was yours? Oh,
I forgot
you forgot it.
It's been so long. I'm just like, I haven't been called it in like forever.
Can't forget your capoeira.
I know. How can you forget that?
But
Meanwhile, he's asking you what yours is. He don't even know his own.
Yeah.
Because everyone gets assigned to one, but I'm like,
yeah.
Like I remember my brothers. My brothers was pretty easy.
He remembers his brothers, but he doesn't remember his own.
They called him Mambo.
Mambo?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Vincent.
Oh, I could see it, Mr. Mark Anthony.
They call him Mambo because every time they play the Atabaki or the Pandora, was it how do you say that?
Pandero.
Pandero, yeah. He would always like dance with it, so they call him Mambo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mambo number 5.
And that's the thing, and if you don't know, so when you have your first grading, normally they'll have a group of masters that will come over, and it's more of a ceremony. So there'll be a big hotter, and all the masters, they'll do a few workshops. And then you'll play with one of the masters, and at that point they will look at how you play, and they will give you a name.
Ooh.
Depend on if you've got really thick glasses, and they might just give you a nickname relating to that or something. So it
could be like an image personality.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess I know what they would.
You get
it,
and it sticks.
Wow. So yeah, that's cool. That's kind of like when you get baptized in certain religions, they give you an extra name, right?
Yeah, they call it a batizado. So, and that's
that is a baptism.
The Portuguese word for baptism. Yeah. So that's what it is. You have a godparent, and yeah, they do that. There's no water involved or anything like that.
That's cool. Yeah, you don't have to wear all white and like get dipped in the sea and stuff like that.
No, you get dipped in your own sea of sweat.
Of sweat.
Because you're fighting everyone. Like you go through the whole entire circle, and depending on how big the class is, you're literally fighting everyone for like a minute apiece. If that. Oh, man,
that is so
it's so tiring.
We did that at birthday holders. If it was your birthday,
yeah, the birthday ones.
You had to.
Oh. It's so good stressful. It was good, but it was so stressful. Yeah. It was fun though.
I really enjoyed
Dan
it.
says he's not.
I'm gonna do it again.
Well, how come you don't try it, Dan? You're like from Brazil. I thought that was like a
He was like, I don't do sports. He's like, the only sports he does is drinking.
Sport. I know you do. I know you drink. I'm surprised you're cohesive and you're typing today.
But yeah, I wanna teach
I'm
Yen
joking.
some capoeira, and like she's gonna teach me
that'd be cool.
yoga. So
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
yoga instructor.
I'll tune into that stream.
I'm not an instructor level yet, but I can I can still show like some of the basic stuff I know.
Yeah, your shingas and your esquivas and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where you got to start.
Macacos and yeah,
Macaco, that's a
Botamundo
little bit
and
advanced.
Well, I already told Zen that I'm gonna be waiting for, and I hope you don't keep us waiting, for a dance fusion stream mixed with his original songs, because he has a history of being a dancer. He used to do what was the name of the dance again? Something
Well, there was jazz fusion, there was
Jazz
house, there was
fusion.
breakdancing mainly.
and then
jazz
he's gonna do a
fusion.
little capoeira. He's gonna make a fusion of those two.
he's like no.
And then he's gonna flex. He's gonna flex his muscles. He's gonna be like, and right after. And then he's gonna
While
name
playing.
himself.
While playing the beating bow and the bass at the same time.
And then you're just gonna come up
Yeah.
with a name.
Well, yeah, after I've named all my basses and my drum sets.
That's awesome.
So
So
we got
let's
one more.
yeah. Well, he's gonna do the 12 songs that sum up the soundtrack of your
Oh, yeah.
life, because
Yeah,
you know
12 songs.
he prepared it and he has a list there. So he had the heads
I
up.
do have a list here.
Let's
So-
talk about that.
So if you guys don't know, the
Well-
12 songs of the soundtrack of your life is usually songs that are like if you had 12 months of the year or 12 songs in like an album of your life, right? So, you can have songs that remind you of your childhood when you went, to the beach with your parents and they drove and you remember a song, or your first kiss, or maybe a song that you remember in high school or college. What's your favorite song? So those are kind of like the soundtrack of your life, So I asked that to every guest. So far, it's been really fun. Some people don't know how to answer all of them, and some people do. So it could be really easy or really hard. But now I've been giving that question to everyone beforehand so they could prepare. So he came prepared. He has a
Yeah,
list
'cause
there.
I didn't know.
So let's hear the list.
And I think like Alpine was saying last week, because I didn't know this question was coming, so I'm glad I actually tuned in and got that insight. So for me, okay, so growing up, I used to listen to a lot of soundtracks. So I never, because I watched a lot of TV and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I got to remember. I wrote it down. I got you.
So I think the first one thing that springs to mind that I love, and I even play it in my Rocksmith stream and my drum streams now, is the Monkey Magic theme tune. Like, for me, I had to watch that intro before I watched the show, like when I was growing up. It's always been something that I've always liked. It's kind of funky, it's kind of groovy, and I love it. I should have done that instead, eh?
You can if you want. You got the energy.
Yeah, who knows? So I don't know if people know the program, because a lot of people don't when I play it. There's
What
a
is
few
it
that
called?
do, because it's
Give us a little
Monkey
taste.
Magic.
Maybe we'll remember it. Little.
Oh,
He's gotta look it up.
yeah, I'd have to.
It's kind of like us growing up, like what was it, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme. Yeah, this is a story.
yeah.
And then it's
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah.
you gotta like say the whole thing. All of a sudden, you're just like in it, and you're like, this is just the freaking intro of the show.
Yeah,
know
and
what I
that
mean?
it's just like
That's
Yeah,
that's what you
always
mean,
loved
right?
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I've always loved it. I've always loved the show, but that theme tune is for me. It's just I don't know what
Of
it
course, OG.
is. So that's one. Second one, again, growing up.
Hey,
Song
Prime.
that's Prime. Yep, Awesome
What's
Prime's
up,
another one of my
Prime?
regulars.
Oh, tuning in
He's
a little
late.
late,
Tell him he's late.
but it's
And
okay.
Steph. So we all know each other.
Oh, welcome in. Thanks for coming.
So a song. Second one. This track was like, again, it was, I don't know why, because I was quite young, but it always resonated with me, and even if I hear it now, it's like, oh, it takes me back. Which is Golden Brown by the Stranglers.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I've always liked it. Maybe because it's not in 4/4, which was probably why I gravitated towards
That's
it
cute.
in the beginning. And another one, again, I guess because it was kind of electronic-ish or different, was Sweet Dreams, Annie Lennox.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's classic.
I always loved it. I mean, it didn't have anything to do with the fact that I
That's a good one. That's a good
dating
one.
girls with short blonde hair, but and then I think definitely a track that is always and always will be a part of me is the Imperial March.
Star
Yep,
Wars.
the Darth
That's
Vader
awesome.
theme. You know, hearing that's what I want to be played at my funeral.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, I was like, I know somebody's gonna say it one day. I was
The Imperial March on the funeral.
That, as much as I would like to say it's
we all
Duel
have
of
one
the
in our
Fates,
mind. Don't lie.
but the Imperial March, if I could have had my way, I would have had it at my wedding.
Oh my god, for real? That's love.
But I didn't even. I would have. I didn't even consider it though.
And everyone in the crowd has to dress up as stormtroopers.
That's right.
No, they can't because only the bride can be in white.
No, I'm saying for his funeral.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's deep. That's deep. No, I know in some cultures it's like it's nicer to dress in white. Like I think in Japan too they dress in white, if I'm not mistaken. Instead of black. Yeah, it's like I guess it's to purify the soul to ascend or something like that. I don't know, but it's interesting. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, we're talking about death here. A celebration of your life, right? With music.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I'll never know if that gets played anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, you got to tell someone that's close to you. Hey, just in case, you got me, you got me. That's my last wish.
I did really like James Bond soundtracks back in the day. The Live and Let Die song. It's Paul McCartney that did that one.
Oh, that's good.
Resonated with me a lot as well. And I guess it's because that fusion it was slow to start, and then it went fast, and then it had a little sort of reggae section, and then
I love the synths on
one
that.
of those tracks. Sorry,
I love the strings on that. Yeah, when it comes in like hard. Do do do.
Yeah.
Do do do. Do do do. Do do.
So, and then Enter the Dragon was another one.
Bruce Lee.
6. Yep. So that theme tune.
Oh, thank you, Eric, for that gifted sub to Prime.
And pretty much anything by Lalo Schifrin. Yeah, Prime. Star Trek. What's that? How dare you? Yeah, anything by Lalo Schifrin. Lalo Schifrin does a lot of soundtracks to stuff. I think he did Enter the Dragon. He might have done Starsky and Hutch and all those old shows and a lot of those movies. Like Lalo Schifrin is behind a lot of that music. That's all that kind of, they call it this porn music. A lot of wah-wah guitar and stuff. Yep.
We're awful.
Schifrin, yeah, definitely big. And then I guess later, so there was a song called "The Show" by Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew.
Ooh.
That pretty much was one of the songs that got me into breakdancing. When I used to breakdance.
Breakdance stream. That's another one.
Used to play.
And you're into breakdancing too. Luna's into break. You guys are like very like similar.
I mean, capoeira. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you guys are so like vibing right now. You guys are into a lot of the same things, and you're a drummer too. That's awesome.
So yeah, there was that, and obviously the UB40 Labor of Love album that I played on the books. That's another one that sort of forged the way I play today, I guess. Let It Roll by Doug Lazy. These are songs that you guys have probably never heard of.
No, I know, I know, I know.
So that was again when I was doing from the jazz fusion transition to house dancing, which is pretty much the jazz fusion stuff, but mixed in with a bit of the breakdown stuff. Yeah, "Let It Roll" by Doug Lazy. There was that song that when that used to play, I was on the floor doing my shit. And I did actually listen to it last night. Yeah, and
Getting shit
one.
done.
A Night in Tunisia, which pretty much was one of with the jazz dance group that I was in. That was one of the tracks that we always used to do our shows to. Art Blakey, Night in Tunisia. So that's another one that sort of like forged some of the stuff that I do.
So what's that? How many songs?
We're down to there's 2 to go.
Oh,
I've gone through these really quickly.
Yes. I just noticed that.
There's one called We Are IE, or We Are E, by Lenny D Ice. Now, I heard this like years and years and years ago when it first came out.
Games too.
Now, some will argue, well, not really argue, but I think that song might have been the very, very first song that was borderline drum and bass. That was like probably the first drum and bass song. It's not really drum and bass, but it has the amen break in it, and it's at that higher tempo. And so that's I remember hearing that, and I thought, oh, I'd like to do this music someday. And then drum and bass started coming, and jungle, and hence why I sort of made the first band that I made for myself was drum and bass. Was from listening to that song like years and years ago.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear the new stuff too that you're gonna do with your new band. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, amazing. John and
Oh my
Josh
god!
with the raid.
What?
Oh, Raidsville.
Oh yeah.
And then my last song.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my
really...
gosh! We got John and Josh coming in with that raid. Thank you so much, everyone coming in. If you guys are new to the stream, my name is Jens. I am a streamer here on Twitch, and I stream everything from New York City IRLs to podcasts on Monday. And today we have ZenFusion, and he's an awesome drummer, bass player here, and he also does gaming. So he does a bunch of different streams.
From Australia.
And he's from Australia, guys. Isn't that cool? So yeah, so we've been talking to him for a little while now. We've been really getting to know about everything, even the fact that he almost had to get into a physical fight with a kangaroo. Okay, these kind of things you will not get anywhere else but here. Okay, and
Good thing he knows capoeira, and he will destroy the kangaroo if need be.
Yes, because he is trained. So. Thanks everybody for coming, and John and Josh. Awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. And how was your stream? And I hope that it was awesome. And I'm grateful that you came here with your community. Thank you so much for choosing us to raid. So ZenFusion, he's about to play, I think, an original, but he's at the end of his soundtrack to his life list, which is 12 songs that usually I ask the streamer that's on the podcast. 12 songs that will be the soundtrack of your life, like songs.
So if you want to repeat the 12 again without all the details, just go through the list up until your last one. Then you can talk about the last one. Yeah, he has 2
left now.
Okay.
So everyone is filled in.
Without
Thank
further
you so
ado,
much, Meerkat.
There is the Monkey Magic soundtrack theme tune, the initial one at the beginning. There's Golden Brown by the Stranglers, Sweet Dreams by Annie Lennox, Star Wars Imperial March. How could I not? Live and Let Die with Paul McCartney. Enter the Dragon and Anything by Lalo Schifrin. The Show by Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh Crew. UB40, the entire Labor of Love album. Let It Roll by Doug Lazy. The Night in Tunisia by Art Blakey. And We Are E by Lenny D Ice, which was like the first sort of drum and bass track. And the last one. We're up to date there. And the last one.
Last one.
The last one is, and I mentioned it earlier, it's like I had someone requested a while ago and I heard it. And this band for me this year has just been, well, in the last few months has been the best is the song Mr. Invisible by Thank You Scientist, but I like all of their music.
Solid list.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Rio, but Rio didn't really have. Sorry, I'm just looking at Brian's comment. Rio is a very good track.
FYI, you forgot
like
Rio.
It's probably the one song that I can play on Rock Band and Rocksmith like without having the charts in front of me.
Oh well, do you have that with you?
I could probably find it and play it.
You could.
We do that one, and then we could do your original one.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay,
back to back.
Yeah. Now that Prime brought it up, thank you, Prime.
Because he really knows.
Prime.
You know, you have to do that one now.
Okay, we will find it.
All right, let's do it.
Shit. Oh, look
Shit.
Yeah, if you guys are not following ZenFusion, give him a follow. He's super cool and fun, and his streams are really interactive. And yeah, he does bass streams, he does drum streams, and he's super chill, and he's, you know, coming out with originals. So give him a follow and go show him some.
If you have any questions as well, you want to ask him, feel free to throw it in chat. We'll write it down, and if it hasn't already been asked, we'll
I know Steven had a question. I wrote down. He said, how well do you manage with improvisation when you stream and requests?
I think I manage all right because that's what I do. That's what I've always done. I've never been taught, so
yeah,
everything that I play is, and I think that's why this is the good thing like that I enjoy about streaming. I get to play a lot of music that I've never heard before, and I listen to it and try and adapt to it, which is why it would have been good for someone to request a song, because I haven't really done what I would normally do on a drum stream because I've been playing to stuff that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my streams, I normally just somebody will request something, and I'll just improv over it, if that's what you mean, or if you mean in terms of making up fills or whatever.
Well, yeah, you really are good with that. I saw because you said that. I
don't know. I just play. It's what I've always done in terms of. I'm an
you just go with the flow.
So,
you just feel the music.
Yeah,
that's what drummers do. Another question I got from the chat was, what are your current drummer goals on Twitch? Like, I think we talked about that.
On Twitch.
Yeah, like what are you as a drummer in whole? I think. Like, what's the next thing you really want to tackle and do? I know you just started up in this new band now today, actually. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's more original stuff, I would think, right? We were talking about that a little bit, and I guess that answers that question.
Yeah, I did about a year ago, probably a year and a half ago. I said to myself, right, I'm going to write one track per month, and then just do a small album, and just put it on Spotify and stuff. Because I've gigged for a lot of years and it's fun. Mm-hmm. But I think if you, like for me, musically, I think outside of the box a bit. So like doing shows and all that sort of stuff is great. But I think if you want to, not that I really want to make money out of music, but if you want to try and make money out of music, gigging, it can only take you so far. So then, you know, getting into writing music for video games or TV ads or whatever, where you can get royalties and stuff for whatever you're creating. It is sort of like the next step, I think. Like CDs, I think are gone are the day where you do CDs. I mean, my EP was on CD and digital, and it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, I still want to write music, and hence why, like I was saying with all the basses I've got before, when I was growing up, I used to play the drums, and then there came a point, I think it was when I did my GCSE level exams for music, and what they had us do was we had to use like these old 4-track Fostech multi-track recorders and create a composition, and that was at the point where I thought, oh, now I need to listen to what the rest of the band does. Because I was never in a band. I was just playing along to tracks. But because I now had to write something, and the track I did was Hawaii 5-0 for my music composition. So I had to listen to that,
wow.
and we didn't have DAWs. We had to record it onto these 4-track tape decks. So if you got it wrong, you had to do it again. So I recorded the drums, the bass, didn't play a single instrument. So it was all like drum machine, finger tapped, and on a keyboard, the horns, the flutes, everything was just done on a keyboard. But that was my point of where I started to think, right, well, I've done this now. That's another, I need to try and learn how to write music. And then, that got me into thinking, well, how do I do it? And, like I took the 5 instruments, drums, bass, keys, guitar, and synth. And I thought, okay, these instruments are the same. So how can I take these? It's like baking a cake or something. You take these ingredients and then turn that into funk. Same instruments, and then you turn that into rock. You turn that into reggae. You turn it into Latin. So that's like building up a vocabulary of what you know in like a language sort of sense. You sort of learn the basics of different styles, but you're making them out of the same instrument. So like the letters of the alphabet, you can make many words, and the more words you make, the more you've got to say. And it's the same with doing improv. The more you've got in your arsenal is what I said. Not
Arsenal?
the more you've
What?
got, then
Say that again?
it's like language. You communicate. If I go to a Latin thing, I can, or the drums are now talking in Latin or reggae. It's
That flavor in there.
translating
Yeah.
that into
That's perfect. I love that.
So
Ooh, he's going to think about throwing some reggae in there.
You want to throw some reggae?
Yeah,
I love reggae. I love me some reggae.
I do. Yeah, I do like reggae. And it's my background, so I get it. I get the feel of it. I get the different feels of it. I get how it works. It's kind of weird because reggae it's the hi-hats. People think it's really easy, but the syncopation of it is very, very sort of intricate. And I think the reason why that is because a lot of reggae drummers, again, were never taught. So they play to how they felt. So to write down reggae on sheet music and play it to have the right feel is quite difficult. I think you have to have the feel of it and to understand that, oh, well, even though you're doing a 1 drop, that drop is slightly behind the 3. So I don't know if you know, the 1 drop is like a classic reggae beat where everything is the kick, the snare is dropped, everything is dropped from the 1 onto the 3. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, where instead of doing that, so the kick is dropped and it's on the 3 now. So they call that the 1 drop, even though that was a very, very bad rendition of it. And then there's different 1 drop variations around that, depending on the way the hi-hat is done, whether it's syncopated, it's shuffled, it's straight, or what. So yeah, reggae is can be a tricky style to play if you don't know how to feel it.
It does have some nice groove to it.
I like it when EJ plays, when he used to play a lot. I saw that it was a lot of like rock and a lot of different of the kind of the same genre. I would throw in a reggae song in there, and I'd be like, "Wow, and then people were like, I really like that song. I never heard it." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a classic reggae song or something." And it's like, yeah, you see, you never know how people will react to like a new genre and a new song. It hits them, and you're like, "Oh, that feels like I like that." So it's good to mix it up and fusion it up sometimes, and mix the two. Yeah, I like that. It's good.
And the funny thing is, I very, very, very rarely get anyone request it
I gotta go in
in
there.
the drum
I
stream.
gotta go in there and request
And
it.
a lot of people do. Like, it's weird.
And
Like,
it's
you don't
good,
see
it's
a
so
lot of
good.
people requesting like reggae stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
you
I
need that.
noticed that. I noticed that. That's why I when I'm in his stream, and I'll tell you, I'm a rocker at heart, but like I grew up in the city, so you know, you have all that kind of different vibes everywhere, you know. So for me, it was like I got into like so much different music. Like I was a rocker in my group, but yeah, I had my friends that were into reggae and other friends that were into hip hop, and there was just so much. So I appreciate all kinds of genres. So yeah, but like I always say, I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, like I love just to like mix it up sometimes when I see that it's a lot of the same thing. Like next week we have a metal guitarist. So there's a nice mix of streamers that have different kinds of flavors and styles on Twitch. And then that's why I love having different kinds of musicians here, because you know everyone has their faves and the type of music that they like, but you never know. You know, maybe you'll hear something different and be like, oh, this hit me a certain way. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
No,
cool.
it's good. I do like Twitch for that. I've come across so many musicians doing so many different things, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Especially even watching Rocksmith and drum streams. Like every time I watch a different Rocksmith streamer, I end up getting more songs after that stream.
Yeah, the variety, you know, spice of life.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I just buy more songs. So I think, oh, damn, that's a good song, and I have to get it.
So what's your favorite song to play then? That if you would pick one song that is like your favorite, that you're like, oh, this song always gets me, and that you know, that hype.
Oh, on what instrument? Drums?
Yeah, on either. I guess both.
You know what?
It's a hard one.
Yeah, it is, because I just like, I know it
It's
when
a
I hear
mood.
it. I do like the funky stuff. I must admit, I do like anything that's funk, like, and that sort of deep funk, you know, like. So that sort of, anything that's got that kind of vibe to it, I just, yeah. I just like, it's like,
Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like that sort of thing. I do like Latin. I'm not brilliant at it, but there's a track I've added to my playlist on the drum stream, which is, it's a Michael Jackson cover by Tony Sucker, and he does a Billie Jean. It's Billie Jean, I think it was. But he's got an album which is a tribute to Michael Jackson, but it's all done in Latin. It's just like awesome.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I'm a big MJ fan.
Tony Sucker. Yeah, it's all done in Latin, and it's just like, yeah, pretty good. So yeah, that resonates with me. And again, a lot of the tracks I've just heard recently, like the Mr. Invisible, I'm loving that at the moment, and I'm learning the bass. I think for my next, if I do Shredfest again, Thank You Scientist is the band that I want to do. But
oh, that sounds cool. I can't wait for that.
It's hard. It's hard.
You could do it.
I'm not. I'm gonna try. I had to. I did get asked to do it this time because someone dropped out, but I just said, I can't do it. It's not gonna happen. But yeah. So do you guys want me to do
the
Rio?
original?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, the Rio.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which one, Rio or the original?
Yeah, do Rio.
Let's do Rio then. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Prime is here. He's waiting. He's like, yes. He called it out. He called it out.
All right. Well, this one's for Prime then.
For you, Prime, here in YenYorkCity Live.
And this, so
ZenFusion.
the little story behind this one was I played this in Rock Band on drums, and I was listening to the bass line whilst I was playing the drums, and I instantly then bought Rocksmith that night and bought their song for Rocksmith, and then I learnt the bass pretty much in a night. And the drums, a lot of people like steer away from this song because they say it's like too, I don't know, I'll let you judge yourself, but it's got a lot of that in it. So a lot of rock banders don't like it, but we'll do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
the fade out.
Yeah. That's it. There you go.
ZenFusion!
Awesome Prime. That was for you.
Oh, Prime, that was for you, honey.
Now we got an original coming
Original
All right.
coming up from
Straight in.
ZenFusion.
So I just need to let's just switch a few things. I actually I don't know how this is going to sound because
Uh-oh. Go ahead. It's fine. Let's see.
I had to pull it off the I had to remix and try and do a master of it last night to take the drums out.
Oh.
Yeah, and so but we'll see. I will go.
We'll give it a go. It's practice. I mean, we're going to be hearing more originals from you anyways, so let's just give it a go now.
From my band called Discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
All right, ZenFusion. Original here, YenYorkCity Live.
Better turn it.
Il y avait une tempête. Nous étions heureux. Nous étions amoureux. Comment nous avons dansé. Et nous avons ri. Je me souviendrai toujours. Et toi, tu te souviens?
go.
That was nice.
That's discipline. I don't know how it sounded.
ZenFusion!
Well, hey,
I was
there you go.
mesmerized by all the sounds you were throwing in there.
Holy shit, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome, Zen. Oh my god, that was amazing.
It's like every time is a
thank you
snare
very
drum.
Yeah, it is. And that's what you like when I do acoustic, sort of use an acoustic kit for any drum and bass gigs. I have a 10-inch. I have a tom here, a tom here. I have a 10-inch snare here, a firecracker. I have.
Aren't you glad you stayed for the original?
Low-tuned, a really low-tuned snare, and I'll have a sort of like a piccolo-ish type snare here with a trigger on it.
That's cool.
So yeah. Ooh. Wow.
I like it. That actually turned out like I wasn't expecting like how the tone's gonna be, and I think for what you presented was actually really nice. Like I am in awe. I do not have words to explain how great that was.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was never happy with the original recordings that we did. We did them in an analog studio, not a digital one. And that particular song on the EP, I didn't mind. But the rest just didn't sound right. So I figured I'd choose this one, but I still had to remix it to take out the drums and try and master it last night. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
Oh, cool.
And that's that was from your older band?
Yes. Yep.
Is that part of Pimps?
Yep. And so that was a Pimp song.
Nice.
Wow, yeah, now I understand why they named you guys like the Pimp of Sound. Because that was grooving. That was grooving.
I would have loved to watch you guys live.
Yes.
That's something that I would vibe with.
I could imagine how much
good
hype
fun.
the crowd gave you guys, like on a good night, like when everybody was there.
Good.
Oh,
it was fun, and
A lot
because
of dancers.
WA has such a big drum and bass scene, but there was no band doing it. So we were sort of, once Pendulum left, we were like the first other people that were doing drum and bass, and it was like, oh. But I'll never forget my first gig, which was at this place called the Ellington, and it was a jazz gig. It's a jazz club.
sounds fancy, the Ellington.
Yeah, it's the Ellington Jazz Club, but they had a Wednesday night, and they had this lady who was actually the singer on that EP.
Oh yeah, she sounded awesome.
So she ended up being my singer. She lives in Berlin now, though.
Oh.
But it was her. She was promoting her music, and I was drumming for her. But she said, "Oh, we need another band to go on earlier." And she's like, "Why don't you do your Pimps of Sound thing?" And I was like, "What? That was just an idea. I never thought of doing it."
Oh, she was feeling
So
it. She came and she was like, "Let's do this."
And so that was our first gig. But the Ellington is a place where, because it's a jazz club, you're on stage and everyone sits down and watches you. They sit.
Oh, wow.
That's like some New York
really
City
cool.
vibe right there. Like
Intimidating
seriously.
as fuck.
Intimidating as fuck.
We're doing drum and bass. The club was packed, and we're doing drum and bass at a jazz venue. And I remember when we did the first song, which is Cubious, and that song finished. And then
Are there a bunch of old people looking at you like this with their arms crossed? Like,
no, well, there's a few, but Perth has a lot of good musicians, so it's like a lot of them go to the Ellington, and you're like, shit, I'm doing this.
I'm going to play at the Ellington.
You know that everyone knows when you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, they're going to see it. That audience is going to see it.
yeah, because no one's drunk out there. They're just watching you.
Very eloquent.
It's kind of intimidating playing there because it's a place for musos.
That would be
know what they're
me.
doing.
Like I would go to a place like that and just like have a spot of tea and that's it, and just watch some good entertainment and just be. But that would make me groove though. Yeah.
Like I would when I get the electronic kits, that's kind of like where I'm gonna start moving my content into. Like outside of like the progressive realm, like I was gonna like when I create my own music, it's gonna be a mixture of like that drum and bass,
nice,
some synth wave and dark synth, and trying to throw in some like dub elements into there, which also brings the progressive side of things, and then like throw in some like guitars and like metal and rock
Luna's getting
vibes in the
fusion-ish.
electronic stuff. So it's gonna be crazy. Like I have so many ideas that I'm
mixture.
trying to that I want to put together. Now it's just me learning how to do all this stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm the same. Like, I've got Cubase 10, so I've done a couple of streams where I'm learning Cubase 10, but I've been sitting on it. I'm doing a drum and bass version of KDA Pop Stars at the moment, which is a song from League of Legends, I think, and it's on Beat Saber. So I'm doing that as a project and I've been streaming it, but I've hit a wall with it. I'm about to add some sax.
Ooh.
But
Some
yeah,
sex?
I did watch.
This isn't a Samus raid, babe. Like.
No, SAX.
Some
Saxophone.
sax.
So yeah, it's good. I do like that side of it. But then you hit a wall, and you're just like,
Yeah, because you don't want to sound redundant either when you're writing stuff like that too, because it
I
can get a
know.
little redundant.
I know Zen is gonna fucking blast off once he starts putting all this like original shit out there. What?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see all the stuff you guys are gonna be creating too. So
It's the future.
So for you, Luna, if you're going to be doing that sort of stuff, a plugin that I would recommend is Korg Gadget 2.
Gadget.
Yeah, Korg. It's by Korg. It's called Gadget 2. Have a look at that because that has a lot of electronic, or even the Korg Legacy Collection. So pretty much all the drum and bass music that I made was done in the Korg Legacy Collection. So
Writing
it
this
just
down.
has a lot of sounds that are geared towards.
Hey, maybe you guys should
electronic
do
music.
like some kind of thing, collab or something, because you guys have a lot of
Yeah.
things in common too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Bounce some ideas.
So yeah, but Korg Gadget and Korg Legacy Collection.
All right, cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I run FL Studio, and FL Studio has some really nice like synth stuff in there, and I can always use some more patches and stuff. Because I used to use Logic 10,
Yeah.
and I had Omnisphere,
Oh yeah.
and some contact stuff from Native Instruments, but that was when I used to write a lot of like symphonic type of music. Stuff like that you can hear on like the background of video games, like looped and maybe like synth stuff, like strings and orchestrated stuff. So that was like my writing capability on Logic. But now that I'm moving into the electronic realm, I gotta kind of like branch away and try to do something new. And I've been listening to a lot of like synth wave stuff, so I'm trying to get the vibe of that.
Yeah, that's good. I'll be looking forward to it. I did see your stream the other week when you were doing some not Fruity Loops. That's the old name.
FL Studio.
FL Studio. Yeah,
Still
that was
Fruity
pretty
Loops.
cool. Some of those sounds that you had there,
The
those
Fruity Loops.
orchestral sounds, were it was like okay.
Yeah, I gotta mess with it, like learn how to tweak it for sound design and modulate it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of new stuff I'm gonna be diving into.
Good stuff.
I might be reaching out to you for some information.
Yeah, no worries. Anytime, guys. And thanks for having me on the podcast. Sorry I couldn't do what you initially asked, which was bass, but I wouldn't have
You
felt
did enough,
confident.
dude. It was amazing.
Oh, I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing, like with the drums and everything. I'm so awesome. Wait. Okay. What? That's not what I wanted to do.
Maybe one day if I get
Well,
to a
you know
certain
what?
level on bass,
Zen,
maybe.
coming into next year, I'm gonna bring a lot of musicians that were on the podcast this year that are doing original stuff. So if you want to come back when you have more originals, I'll promote your original stuff, because that's where I'm heading to. Like, I'm gonna have a few bodybuilders and foodies and people that also have cooking streams, because I've been super blessed and lucky this year that I've had like everyone that I've asked to be on the stream, on the podcast, they were so like excited and happy to be on it, and I got like the most amazing response, and they just I'm so like, I can't even believe the community is this amazing and supportive to each other, because we see each other in everyone's stream. So when I get someone to, you know, want to be on the podcast, is exciting, because then you see other people that are like, oh, I watch him too, or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, do you like these? And it's like, oh, I would love to be on it. And then it's just like kind of like that kind of, it's been like that. And I've gotten like pretty much everyone that I'm like really, really like genuinely like enjoy as a streamer. And I love the content, and I love that everyone's now diving into the original stuff. So yeah, I've asked a couple, I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna do originals, I would love to have you back, you know. And yeah, I'm excited because you know, with everything going on, I think that's the future, is more of the original stuff, and also collabs, you know, with original music. So I really enjoyed having you here, Zen. It was amazing. You're super awesome, amazing, like super chill, super zen, and
super zen.
And so you guys, man, it's like I've been watching the podcast for a while, and yeah, when you asked me about it, I was like, oh, but I thought, you know what, yeah. So yeah, it's cool. I think what you guys are doing is great, and just giving, you know, I guess there's people who stream more for getting out there and getting subs and all that sort of stuff, and it's a good opportunity for them to get recognized as well. So yeah, it's great. And yeah, it's getting to know more people. I know I can see the chat, but I haven't been like reading it. But Nas Soul's always there. He's always got my back.
Yeah, he's
and I gotta
awesome.
thank Nas for helping me with the sound before I actually got to you guys.
Yeah, that was cool. You save us a lot of time.
Yeah, he's been here the entire stream, so he's a real one. He's amazing. Soul, you're the man. Thanks for being here. You were here like the entire stream, basically. And also, who else was here? Prime came in late, but it's better late than never. You know, you could watch the VODs.
You got to see some of it.
Yeah, and Stevens and Making Money coming in with them gifted subs. Eric's the man. And let's see, who else was
John and Josh with the raid.
Yeah, John and Josh with that raid. Oh my god, that was awesome. We got like really awesome people here. We had Robson in here dropping by. It's been a nice night getting to know ZenFusion. So if you guys haven't given him a follow, give him a follow. And you know, it's just gonna grow from now. You know, people are gonna be doing more originals. So his original, that was hot. I really loved it.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was super.
I really do hope this, you know, this helps out with you getting recognized and you know, getting more people into your streams. And on top of that, you know, we all got to know more about you, and now we can be like, yeah, you know, Zen's this kind of guy, which is amazing. So you need to watch him. You know, and this is what he has to offer. So, so we got a little bit of a history.
Just don't mind swearing.
No, yeah. I mean, whoever follows us, you know, they're gonna be PG-18. So
yeah. Although I've been really good today.
We all kind of have
tonight.
Yeah, we've been
minus the sax things.
And
well, Yen did drop an F-bomb.
Oh yeah,
I think I dropped one or two.
I'm gonna put like some kind of sound over it, I guess. I don't know.
Beep.
But if you guys, you know, I put these also on YouTube now. I'm starting to put them on YouTube because of everything. I might have to like delete everything later on this year. So yeah, these podcasts, you know, this year has been freaking popping. They've been amazing. They've been fun. And then EJ Luna came in and started co-hosting, and that was even funner because, you know, he puts a different angle and perspective because he knows more about the technical stuff. And yeah, and I've had so many drummers on the stream. I love it because, you know, I love my drummers. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. And he's going to get his electronic drum kit soon. So it's going to be awesome. November, we have a lineup that's awesome. Super cool original musicians too. And in December too. It's just going to be super fun. So next week, guys, we have Jeebus, like Jesus, but on guitar, Jeebus. He's a metal shredder. So you guys are going to enjoy him. He's going to be here.
What time is that?
7 p.m. Eastern time. And he's from Europe too, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember. Last week it was German, from Germany. And today was Australian ZenFusion. So Fusion because he's also from Jamaican roots. Yes. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love the diversity of styles, music, genres, and people in my podcast. I'm really proud of that because it just showcases everyone from all over the world, not just from New York City. You know, the vibe here, it's from all over the world, and Twitch made that possible. So I hope they, resolve the whole thing and give us a way that we can actually stream more music. But yeah, but work on those originals, guys. Work on originals because that's where it's at.
Cool. Will do.
All right, I'm gonna look for someone
thanks
to.
again for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you for providing us your time and the space and all, so that you can showcase your talents and express who you are and all that. And I'm glad that I got to know you more. I wouldn't have known that you did like Upwit and all that stuff without having to have you on here. So, because you said you shared a lot more on here than you do on your stream. So now we got a little bit more of who Zen is. So
cool.
Ooh, and
I'm excited.
Cool. And thanks to all my crew who came down as well. Much appreciated for that.
Yeah, you guys, thank you so much.
I will probably be streaming drums on Friday.
Yeah, when is your next stream so we know?
It will be Friday, so it'll be the opposite time to this. So I normally stream at around 9:30 my time, which would be probably.
Well, what time is it there now?
AM your time. Now it's, get the old shades on. It's 10 to midday, 10 to 12.
Oh, so you're okay. So you're literally like 24 hours out.
I'm in the future. That's the thing about my stream. I can do stuff to people's stream or tell them what not to do.
It's 10 to 12, so it's almost noon?
Yep.
Oh, we've been on here for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So I missed breakfast.
You got to get some breakfast, and you have a new band that you're going to play with, so.
Yeah.
Going.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Again, guys.
And I hope you tune in next week for Jibus. He's a metal god on the guitar. So you guys are going to enjoy that. It's going to be awesome because he's Jibus, All right, guys. Stay for the raid. We're going to raid somebody else doing Rocksmith. He just started his stream, so perfect timing. Let's go. Let's go to Tekken. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you on the next podcast. Remember, next week, Jeebus. All right, guys. See you later and be good to one another and take care and stay healthy and be good. Bye.
Okay.